And we are back for another Warriors Den. What's up, everybody at home? I hope you're all ready for the big reveal of the new hero, the Varangian Guard. And I'm joined by Nolan. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, although you seem really far away, but it's so close, so close. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so we got a lot in store for you today on today's show. It's a frosty morning here in Montreal.
Bit,
we had
yeah.
an ice storm.
A little bit.
Yeah, I got to skate to work. That was great.
Right.
But, Nolan, I believe that viewers can win something other than ice from the sky. You want to tell us about it?
That's very true, if you consider that a win. But, we got you covered today, folks. So here's the thing. We're going to tell you this right away. That's why we're jumping into this. Link your UbiConnect account to your Twitch account so that way you can watch it. We got an action-packed, huge Warriors Den prep for you today, and you want to have your account linked because for every 30 minutes you're here watching us, you're going to win a scavenger crate. And at the end of this whole show, we're going to select some lucky winners at random to win a grand prize of either 100,000 steel or the new hero, the Varangian Guard. So you want to be linked, you want to be watching, and you want to make sure to redeem your rewards as you go every 30 minutes. So make sure you're doing that. We warned you. We always try to. Brian always does such a good job of that.
There's always someone who's like, no, I blew it. I blew it.
It's good. But, we are so excited that for the new hero launch and all that we have even more Twitch awesomeness for all of you out there because starting next week with the launch of the new title update from February 1st to February 8th, the top 10 streamers of For Honor are going to win a grand prize of 100,000 steel each. So get on there, stream the game, have fun with that. And if you're not super into streaming, but you just want to watch and support, we got you covered too because we have a whole Twitch directory here of drops, so you can see it on the screen, but watching every few hours up to like 15 hours you're going to win XP boosts, scavenger crates, steel, championship status, all of the above. It's going to be great, so just make sure you're watching. Championship status. Championship. The champs are here. So it's amazing. So we got you covered. So watch us today, stream next week, watch next week with the launch of the new title update. It's going to be awesome. So
and remember,
yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's
so
right.
People will be like, oh, I'm not a top 10 streamer. It's like, not with that attitude, you're not.
That's right.
There's actually a lot of competition in that like 5 through 10 spot.
Yeah.
So it could be you.
It could be. It could be you. You right there. We're talking to you right now. Stream it. It's going to be awesome. But you know what? This upcoming TU launch into February, we've got like another really cool announcement we want to make. And for those of you who didn't know, but a very special event is happening on February 14th. All right. And now I know normally that day kind of goes unmarked in most calendars, but we want you to mark it because it is the For Honor anniversary.
Oh, not Singles Awareness Day.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, no, not Singles Awareness Day, but yes, again, nothing else is happening there but the For Honor anniversary, so just make sure you log in and you play with us because guess what? We have got an amazing mood effect that we're going to give away just for logging in and playing during that week. It's incredible. And what's the fun thing about this, Brian, now?
Oh, it matches your color swatch.
That's right, it does.
Yeah, which means I'm going to pressure right now on the For Honor community to allow this one in or the For Honor fashion community.
Or fashion.
To allow that one in submissions.
Yeah.
Because it deserves it.
Yeah, so that's good. So again, February 14th, don't miss out. Log in, play for that week, and you'll just get that awesome new mood effects to match with your color swatches. That's great.
It's free real estate.
It is free real estate. Yeah, you can't go wrong with free. So that's awesome. A couple other notes, we wanted to just kind of mention this because it's so exciting with the new hero reveal today. But this is actually our 185th Warriors Den. What the heck? That's a lot.
That's more than 150.
That is more than 150. Yeah, the math I believe does check out on that.
Yep,
so that's
I looked it up online.
Yeah, was it peer reviewed that research data? So yes.
Who checks that?
But definitely not me. But yeah, so 185th Warriors Den.
Definitely not anyone.
Definitely nobody. That's okay. So that's awesome. And at the same time, we're so excited for that, launching this new hero next week. But also, we also want to just kind of congratulate the entire community out there because a couple months ago, if you weren't aware, we actually hit our 35 million player threshold. And it's still going, you know what I mean? Like, it's
we're
still
over that
still
now.
going. We are over that. That was a couple months ago. Like, so
milestone crossed.
Definitely,
in the past.
definitely. And again, like 35 million, still more than 150. So the math continues to make
that's
sense.
That's going to hurt. I can't do the math on that.
Yeah, don't stress too much about it. It's fine. So anyway, just thank you so much just for being part of that journey with us, and we're just so excited to have you here today. And yeah, it's great. So
yeah,
but
you
what
want to
else
talk about what's coming up in TU2?
I want you. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you got?
let's do it. So let's take a quick look at what happened in Title Update 1. I'm assuming all of you are able to read all that literacy drip. So let's talk about what's coming in TU2. We've got a new hero on February 1st, the Varangian Guard. We got a free event pass coming with that as well as new armor variations.
Ooh, nice.
For the Viking, Samurai, and Wulin, right? I didn't miss that up? No. Viking, Wulin, and Outlander.
That's right.
Viking, Wulin, Outlander.
Yeah.
I donked it up. But I fixed it, so it's fine. And then we got a trio of Hero Fests coming up for you, which we'll say exactly who I think a little later in the show. And then a throwback event, Black Prior's Riposte.
Nice.
And that is how you say that. It's a riposte.
It is, yeah.
Riposte.
Not riposte, as I originally thought.
No,
so,
riposte. No.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll give you more details on the new hero, the Varangian Guard, their background a little bit later, as well as all the narrative stuff, and we'll have plenty of time to see people play the hero.
Yes.
Check it out in depth. We've got a big show for you. You're going to get a lot of eyes on with the Varangian Guard. But before we have that, we're going to have a short transition, and then Mr. Stefan is going to join us on stage, on the couches, because apparently he has a few things to say about stuff and things.
Awesome.
So we'll see you in just a second. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. I'm joined by everyone's favorite game director, Stefan. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for saying that I'm your favorite.
Yeah, favorite of one. It makes it easy.
You know, I guess favorite, least favorite, all of us. Thank you.
So it's a big day today. We're talking about this lovely lady on the stream.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but a little bird told me, little one, real small, swallow, told me that you might have some information on some exciting things.
Yes, absolutely. It's great. We're going to talk about the end of year 7 here and the introduction to the new hero. And just before we do that,
end of year 7 means right.
We're there, of course. we're pleased to announce the announcement of year 8 of For Honor, beginning soon. And I can't wait. It's going to be super cool. In terms of content, we're going to talk about just a little sneak peek as to what we are going to have inside it in year 8. So, of course, we're going to bring 4 all-new seasons to For Honor.
Yes.
We're going to have 2 new heroes. The first is going to launch in Season 2, TU2, and the second will be in Season 4, TU2, following the trend that we do.
Yeah.
Also, throughout the year, we're going to have hero skins, so watch this space for news on that throughout the year.
I'm looking forward to some of the new hero skins. It's going to be awesome. And I think we are we, is there any other details about the heroes that are coming out we want to confirm?
They're going to be awesome. Firstly, this one's going to be awesome here at the end of year 7. And the other 2, we've seen some very spicy stuff, some very cognizant of knowing what For Honor is like in year 7 and year 8. So
we're sticking to the formula.
I think you're going to be a bit surprised with how these play. So
not with the heroes. I mean with the release.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, sticking with that. But I believe that's not all.
We have 2 little surprises to talk about, so maybe we want to talk about the first one here.
Yeah.
I know players have been asking for this for quite some time.
I think they have been asking for it, if memory serves. Oh, God.
Oh,
what's happening? We're still here. Here, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Can we see?
Okay,
That's
right. You read that correctly.
Indeed, players have been asking for us for a long time to do converted maps. So indeed, we're going to bring these through year 8.
I wish I could see chat right now. I want to know just to the level to which they're losing their minds.
I hope it's quite positive.
Can someone give me like a out of 10? Okay, they're freaking out. Awesome.
So indeed, the intention is to bring 2 converted maps through year 8. And what we're going to have basically is they are deathmatch maps that are very seldomly played by players in For Honor, as deathmatch is very underplayed. So for players, the ask has been, can you convert some of these to Dominion, our most played, our flagship game mode? And yes, indeed, that's the intention.
Yeah.
So you're going to see these come throughout the year. Again, keep your eyes on this space.
I mean, it's wild. There are a lot of players who've genuinely never seen some of these maps because they just queue in, they play Dominion, maybe they'll play Breach sometimes, but they never touch the other game modes. So
I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for players to use their tools, use their new heroes, and kill their friends in an all-new space to them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them. Looking forward to see what happens, what the reaction to these are, and to be able to announce what and when and where and how later down the road. But I believe we've got more stuff to talk about today, other than obviously converted maps, big deal. But I believe we have more.
Indeed, we have one new feature that we'd like to talk about here today. And obviously, we're going to talk about more as year 8 begins. But what we would like to also announce is something that we're calling the Legacy Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a Legacy Pass is, of course, we're going to bring 4 new Battle Passes through year 8, 1 per season. But we're also going to bring a Legacy Pass from prior year to each of these seasons.
So now that players have been able to sort by, Battle Pass in the UI, I'm sure a lot of them have been saying like, oh, well, how do I get that? That was from a long time ago. So this is a way to do that, right?
Exactly. So, for example, in season 1 of year 8, we're going to bring back the year 4 season 1 Battle Pass, the first one. And it's going to be an opportunity for players who've never experienced it in year 4 to get this content for the first time. As well, players that were existing, their progress is going to be maintained. So if they're at tier 50 in the Battle Pass
They'll
first time
be tier 50 now.
Exactly. If they bought it before, they'll have it now. And then for everybody, there's a new tier 101 with retrofit content. Yes. And what this means is that the heroes that launched after this pass had launched between now and then, basically, are going to get retrofit Battle Pass content in a tier 101.
Nice. So I can get the Warmonger stuff and wear it on Medjai.
I mean,
whatever.
Exactly. It'll be your first opportunity for like Warmonger or Medjai or Ocelotl or whatever to get the Battle Pass content from these
their
Legacy
seasons,
Passes.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome because that's been a huge request from players for a while. Is like, how do I get this content on this hero because I want it? And it's like, well, they came out after that. So up until now, it's just been kind of like tough rocks.
Exactly. And now it's all going to be in tier 101. So this is going to be really cool because if you're free track or if you've bought the pass, all that retrofit content is going to be right there. One other little note, both passes will progress simultaneously. So tier 101 is not super far away. Both passes will basically progress at the same time as you earn.
It's quite literally, it only adds 1 level to the grind.
Exactly.
Like,
there's no concept of active and inactive passes, so it should be fairly smooth to grind through.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And if you're wondering, like, how do you get your hands on the Legacy Pass, it'll be $9.99 US on its own, and but it will also now be a part of the bundle. So for the same $24.99 for the Battle Pass bundle, it now includes the Legacy Pass, as well as unlocking 25 tiers for both the regular pass and the Legacy Pass, as well as the 20% BP boost, the Battle Points boost. I just like saying boost.
Boost is good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's everything we have for today, right?
That's all we can say today of the sneak peek, but please watch this space for announcements throughout the year, and you can see all this cool content as it is ready.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stefan, for taking us through the high level of these changes. I'm sure players are super excited about converted maps. Yes. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the next segment. We're going to do a deep dive into the narrative and the art design for the new hero, the Varangian Guard. And but before that, I just want to thank Stefan for joining me on the segment.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Yeah, and there's more. We've got an awesome gameplay trailer for you for the new hero, so feast your eyes upon this.
Dear Uncle, you failed to slay us all. I live. I am at the gates, and not alone. All my life, something was missing. But in exile, I found it. True dedication. A bond unbreakable. The promise of the Varangian Guard. Justice is on the march. Can you hear it?
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, man, that was such a hype trailer. I'm so excited. So excited for Varangian Guard. And if you're excited, too, we got good news because, again, next week, February 1st, the Varangian Guard is going to be available for everybody for $7.99 USD and on February 14th for 15K steel. So get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. And, yes, we are going to normally have like a 2-week period before they're available for steel. But because it's our anniversary, we want to just do it a little earlier by one day. So get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. So, but for this segment too, we are going to dive into the narrative, the lore, the art, all of the stuff that is so important, at least definitely to me, and I know to a lot of people here on the couch. So I'm very excited to hear about this. So welcome everybody. Steph, thanks for sticking around and talking more about this awesome new hero, the Varangian Guard. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, good. Cool. And also we're joined over here on the very far couch, but our amazing game writers. We have Andre, we have Ian. It's
It's
okay.
close to your heart.
That's close, always close to the heart. That's great. And Raf, of course, our resident historian. So thank you all for joining us on the couch today. So let's dive into this. Steph, do you want to give a little introduction now for the hero?
Of course, it's my pleasure to talk here now about the Varangian Guard hero. It's our first fully armored Vikings, so that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
All the other Vikings just roll up in whatever they got, and this one's like, I'm actually going to prepare for battle and try to win this thing. So, super hyped to bring this.
Nice.
This hero is female body type. She has an axe in the one hand and a shield in the other. And when we talk about the aspects of her play, we're going to talk about kind of two things. One is going to be the violent Viking aspect, and the second will be the loyal mercenary aspect. The violent Viking, of course, is represented through the axe, which is really going to bite into opponents, embed in them in a way that the others don't, and set her up for her really fun, kind of cool mix-up that others will talk about in the next segment. We'll get to that. But yes, this is violent Viking, and I can't wait for this mix-up. It's fun. And then the second is a loyal mercenary, and that's going to be well represented through her shield, her ability to multi-block and defend herself. You're going to see that in a couple moments as well. And she's going to really help her team out with her feats that are going to bring benefits to her teammates Feat 1, Feat 3 for survivability and killability, and our Tier 4, which is really going to help her move forward with the team and take back space for their team. So
Nice.
can't wait to show that in the next segment with the others.
That's very cool. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Sounds really cool. I'm very excited to see just the next Viking. And also, I want to say thank you so much because now we get to round out that missing space in the roster now. So my OCD is very appreciative of that because, oh boy, it's been 4 years almost since Yorm. So,
Ooh, but who's counting, eh?
Me, but that's okay. So it's great. So yeah, but let's talk a bit more about the story. So let's Andre and Ian, can you tell us a bit more about who is this Varangian guard for us? What's the story for Honor when it comes to her?
Happy to get into it. Yeah. So the Varangian guards are mercenaries. They travel the world fighting for various clients. And in their travels, their identities have evolved. And in one way, you can see that in their appearance. As Stefan's mentioned, they are fully armored Vikings. You also see it in their language as well. So the dialogue in game is a mix of Greek and Icelandic. So as you know, all of our Vikings speak Icelandic. It's Greek, that's new, and it's a little bit of a clue to where the Varangian guards have been to in the world. So we're not going to nail it down, but that's your clue. And so when you hear them speaking Greek, this is when their more mercenary side is coming out. It represents, how stoic they are. They're there to get a job done. It's refined. And then when they slip into the Icelandic, that's when you hear that Viking core that Stefan mentioned coming out. And they're more brutal, violent. Their blood is up on the battlefield. But what makes the Varangian guards so famous as mercenaries is their loyalty. So they're intensely loyal to each other, as you can see in the feats Stefan mentioned as well. But they're also loyal to their clients. So a lot of mercenaries get a bad rep for, betraying their clients if a better offer comes along. Their allegiance is really only to whoever will pay them the most money. Not so with the Varangian guards. If they say they're going to fight for you, they will fight for you, no matter what. So they cost a lot of money, but what you're buying is that ironclad loyalty. So that begs the question, how do the Varangian guards fit into the seasonal narrative? And I believe Ian has some more information to share on that.
I do?
I
do. Yes,
I
right.
hope so.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
I hope so, because I prepared nothing, so it has to be you.
I wonder what happens.
Yes, absolutely. Let's just wind the clocks back a little bit. In TU1, we had the Highlander Maddox. He betrayed his people, his chieftain, to side with Horkos. He killed everyone who was, not by himself. He and his men killed everyone who was loyal to Chimera. But there is one who escaped. If players paid attention to the lore orders, they might have noticed that the chieftain's daughter escaped. And now we can officially reveal that this chieftain's daughter, her name is Katla, and she is our main Varangian guard hero. Katla went into exile when her uncle unceremoniously took the throne. She roamed the frozen wastelands of Valkenheim until she came across the Varangian guard, and there they took her in. She trained with them. She learned their ways. She learned their cultures. She became one of them. Eventually, she took the pledge, became a Varangian guard herself, and now her first act is she's hired her own crew to go back to Heathmore to reclaim her village. So now it's Katla versus Maddox, and it's the Varangian Guard versus Horkos, and it's really, we're putting an exclamation point here on the Year of Injustice, because there's been so many injustices. We had a lot of, Horkos has been wreaking havoc pretty much throughout all of Year 7, but now finally, some good guys are coming in and trying to balance the scales a little bit. What do you think about that, Andre?
I'd say that's absolutely accurate. The Varangian guards are these paragons of hope. Now at the end of Year Injustice, like you said, it's a great way to cap it off. And as you also heard in the trailer, there's the line, justice is on the march. So they really do represent, a ray of light at the end of this dark, dark year. And I believe Maddox, he also tries to do something pretty schemey in character for him,
he's
right?
a sleazy guy, and even he himself, when he sees the Varangian guard coming, he realizes the threat they represent, and he's like, oh, wait, maybe I can try and, wrestle something out of it. So he tries to hire them from underneath, Katla. He offers them more money, but as Andre said, they have their morals, they have their code. They refuse. They're here to fight for Katla. They're here for him. So
It's very ironic too, considering that the Varangian guards have no blood relation whatsoever to Katla. They're mercenaries. They're mercenaries in general are famous for being just greedy, and yet they show more loyalty to her than her own blood. So just goes to show the level of his treachery.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, it's treason, right? This season is treason, and now
It
we're
was treason,
rectifying
yes.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Surprising, because at some point I thought that the message was, hey, Maddox was right. And now, no, I learned that he's wrong.
I mean,
It's-
that's
you
up
can
for
argue
debate.
it. You
you
can
know?
argue it.
but Maddox did nothing wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I thought this was the plan. Oh.
I guess not. We got to keep reading those lore orders, though. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, sounds great. I'm excited to really cap off that conflict between these two, the Oathbreaker and this Oathkeeper. So that's a really cool way to again cap off the year, like you said. So that's the Varangian Guard in the lore of For Honor. But obviously this was like a real world kind of group of people. So from a historical angle, Raph, can you share what were the inspirations for this? Like, how far down does this rabbit hole go?
Yeah, of course. We took inspiration from history for that. The Varangian Guard is probably the most famous military unit of the Middle Ages. The members of the Guard were Norse people, mostly from Scandinavia, fighting across Europe and the Middle East, and selling their services as mercenary, and they're mostly associated with the Byzantine Empire, it's a successor of the Roman Empire in the Middle Ages, and it was at the time the wealthiest and most sophisticated state pretty much in Europe and the Middle East. So it was a right place to go if you wanted to fight for money. There, in the capital of the empire, Constantinople, the Varangian Guard served as the personal guard of the emperor, but also as shock troops that were really renowned for their fearlessness, their violence, as Stefan said, and their loyalty. We have one example in more than 200 years of history of their existence, of them revolting against their employer. So yeah, this is really special. And this loyalty, we were drawn to it when we started thinking about the hero. This was something that we really wanted to represent. But it's not the only aspect that we wanted to represent. We used also the fact that the Varangian Guard, so they were coming from other places and traveling. Some would go, get paid, and come back. In Norway, for instance, there is a famous story about a king of Norway called Harald Hardrada. We took inspiration from history to get the story of Katla, her coming back, being exiled and coming back. But also, when they go somewhere, they are Vikings. Yes, Vikings in their core. But they become Vikings with a twist because they live embedded and surrounded by another culture, this Byzantine culture. And we wanted to reflect this multiculturalism or biculturalism. So we have a Viking with a twist, a Viking who has a few Greek words, a Viking who fights in a bit more of a structured way than the other Vikings, a Viking who has, of course, a lot of armor, a Viking who's... so it's reflected also in executions, mood effects, the music. There are some Armenian and Byzantine influences there. And, of course, also in weapons, armor sets, art in general.
Great. Well, I mean, speaking of art too, we have some concept art too that we can kind of show. You can kind of walk us through a bit of that process.
Absolutely, this is something I like so much. So we started from history, so from manuscripts, from text descriptions, from archaeological diggings, from drawings from the time, all kind of sources. But from history, we build our fantasy. And the fantasy we wanted to build was an armored Viking, as Stefan mentioned. What does it mean, an armored Viking? Well, you've seen it. You see it on the key art that we have here and on the concept art on the screen. So an armored Viking has a helmet, of course, and you have multiple kind of helmets that we used. Greaves, shin pads, multiple layers of armor. So of course you would have some gambaison, which is pretty much a padded cloth armor. you have chainmail, you have scale mail, you have some multi-layers of leather, and you have something I personally really love, which is it's called Varangian bra in sources. So it's like leather straps that link the or hold the chainmail and holds a centerpiece, a cardiophylax. It's a protection for the heart, and this is really iconic, and we wanted to include it, and well, we did.
So we did, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty armored Viking. We also added some other elements just to give some personality to the hero. A pouch, because well, it's a mercenary, so she is getting money in her pouch, and she has a tunic, a decorated tunic, because she's a palace guard and she needs to go to court and to appear in court events. So yeah, multiple layers of explanation and multiple layers of armor. That's the important point.
And I think, like, speaking of armor as well, like, right, there was like a lot of work that went into, you know, some customization for the armor, right?
Absolutely. I mentioned that we had that fantasy of an armored Viking, but another aspect that we really wanted to nail was the customization aspect. We wanted to give, so the Varangian Guard, it's a unit. You are issued with standard equipment. But you also you want to bring in some element of individuality into the guard, coming from different places. And we wanted the player to be able to have this choice, to be able to go with the cape, without cape, different types of helmets. You will see that there is a set that has a face reveal. There are other sets that have a conic head, conic helmet with an aventail, which is a way to protect your face. Some others have complete face masks. You can see it here. It's inspired from neighboring culture, the Sicilian Norman from Italy that the Varangian Guard would have fought. So yeah, you have multiple options. In the armor, you also have different types of chainmails. You have different types of scale mails. You can go with other types of armor too. You can see the many types of customization that are available and that we wanted to offer as an option.
But they also seem to really like the pointy helmets. You know, is there a historical reason for the pointy helmets?
You want me to say that they stabbed their opponents
a little
with
bit,
their head?
yeah. I kind of want to know where's the
No,
history for that.
Unfortunately, that's not the
Oh,
case.
darn.
Well,
Okay.
maybe they did, but that's not what my sources tell me.
Okay.
Basically, the helmet, it's to protect your skull. Everyone's
As is
Yeah,
tradition.
that.
I'm aware.
So basically, if it is like that, it deflects blows much better than if it was really square kind of helmet. There are other types of helmets, but in their case, we went with this one. We also have a helmet like this one, which is a late Roman Ridge helmet, many jewels. This is us taking the liberty of going up and down the thousands of years of Roman and Byzantine history that preceded the Varangian Guard.
Wow.
We mentioned customization. I did.
Yeah.
There are also options that we have with material, with color sets. As you can see, the entire armor will change. You can apply the material changes to it. And we try to maximize it so that you can do as much as you can and change and express yourself as much as you want with the material, but also with the color sets. And you can go with as many colors as we have and as many colors as you want.
Nice.
Is there a particular color you think you'll be playing with?
I mean, they got a purple ponytail right now, so I think I might just go with that.
The
so.
dark purple is really historical too. I would go with this one, but pink is also something I like, but not historical, but really I like it. So hey,
it's
we can go
expression
with
though.
it.
So
Yes.
yeah. That's awesome. Super.
I have a history question.
Oh, yeah.
For the professor.
Well, for him.
Or maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for the people at home. But could you explain maybe why we pronounce it Varangian and not Varangian?
Yes, you're right. So basically, the loyalty was really important for so it's something that's so important that it's actually embedded into their name. The name Varangian in English, it comes from Old Norse Varingar, which means sworn companion or oath taker. And so, yeah, this was something that they would do. They would take an oath to their lord. It could be in Scandinavia or, in our case, mostly to the Byzantine emperor. And this oath was their bond. They lived by it. They often died by it too. But yeah, it was so important that it was their name. And this is why we've been pronouncing it in this Old Norse fashion with the RG.
That's good. I know during the development I had to remember it because I was sort of like a karate gi, you know, and I don't know why. That's just how I could remember like the hard G there. But it's good to know there's actual, again, like history behind it, which is always awesome.
Well, it's a basis. We go into fantasy. From there, we go into fantasy,
Right.
but there is a basis.
Now, speaking of the historical elements, we talked a lot about the armor, but I think you have something hiding behind the couch over there. We can show off a little
Yeah,
bit.
it was really, really well hidden. I'm sure no one saw it.
Nobody saw it. no.
Yeah, I've been dying to do this since the trailer.
There
know?
you go.
So yeah, I will let a wonderful Alex, JC, and Vanessa talk about why we chose the long axe and the kite shield for this hero, the gameplay reasons, the animation reasons. But from an art and history point of view, well, the Varangian guards, they were called in sources Aspidiforoi, so shield bearer, and Pelekiforoi, so axe bearer. So we wanted to go with that. But when we design weapons, we go like on a scale from realistic to mythological. We start with weapons who are more, what they are used, exactly what they're used to be. So you have some metal, but not too much. Then we clean it up. We add some metal, some ornaments, some different ways to express yourself. The weapons for a mercenary, they are the tools of the work. So I could believe that as a mercenary, you would want to show off, to try to show that you've survived, to use your weapons as a memento for fallen companions or brothers or whoever. And so more and more you can add elements. You can add some more weapon, some more metal, some more precious metal. You can go into a more fantastical way too. And use different things that are inspired both, so the double nature comes back here too. So both from the Viking mythology and from the Roman and Byzantine history, also mythology or symbols, and more when you go into you go up the scale into the mythological, you would have more gold, you would have more tessellated glass, which is something really, really important in Byzantine art. You would have a lot of symbols. So yeah, as you can see,
that's
multiple animals.
Yeah, and I think there was like one animal in particular you were really excited about to express on the weapons.
It's the last one, the dragon.
Yes.
So of course dragons, they're staple of Viking mythology, but they were really, really important in the Roman and then Byzantine armies, and so Varangian Guard too. They had a sigil that was called a Draco. And it was pretty much like a dragon-shaped sigil that you would go into battle with. For 1,000 years, the Romans and the Byzantines used that, and we know that the Varangian Guards were the last to do it in history.
Wow.
So this is the shield and the axe I was talking about. So whether you want to be more realistic or you want to be more mythological, we have you covered. And you want to feel like a 1,000-year-old Roman fighting as a Viking Varangian Guard, well, we have you covered too.
we offer all sorts, so that's amazing.
We try.
We try.
Really, I want to give a big shout out to the art team because they worked so hard on this, and it's a team effort. There are multiple people who do that, including the Chengdu team that we love very, very much, and we thank very, very much too. So yeah, it's the result of the work of these many people.
That's awesome. Yeah, and again, looks absolutely incredible. And honestly, big shout out to you three as well for crafting all this amazing like lore, going back into the history. I love me some lore. It's like it's just one of my things. But no, so yeah, thank you three as well for again just making this amazing story to help us bring this new hero to life. So that's awesome. Final word before we switch, because we're gonna jump into some gameplay and animation next. But Steph, anything else you want to say about our Varangian Guard here?
I mean, I can't always wait. I can never wait for players to get their hands on it.
Yes.
It's always fun to see how they will express themselves on the field and destroy their opponents on it as well.
Nice, guys.
Same. Just excited to see players sink their teeth into the story too, and read those lore orders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Justice is on the march.
On the march.
For Valkenheim.
So Maddox maybe did something wrong. So
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Debatable. Debatable.
Not sure.
Debatable. All right. So that's for that. So for everybody out there who wants to hire the services of the Varangian Guard yourselves, next week, February 1st, you can do that for $7.99 USD, and on February 14th for 15K steel. So keep an eye out for that. And don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back with some people to start talking about the animation and the gameplay and get a little hands-on time with our newest hero, the Varangian Guard. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. So we're so happy you're still with us to talk more about the gameplay and the animation of the Varangian Guard. And who better to discuss all of that with us than these three amazing people on the couch with me today. We have, again, you know her, the queen of all animation, Vanessa is back with us. Our Lord and Savior, JC. Awesome talk about gameplay. And the designer of the Varangian Guard, Alex, is on the couch with us too. Hello and welcome to you all. How you doing today?
Thank you.
Excited?
Oh my god, it's such a
super
great
excited.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe Steph announced all of these things.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
right?
Really, Steph, save some for the rest of us. No. No, it's awesome. Yeah, what an exciting den. Like, I love it. It's amazing. But let's dive into it because I'm sure people really want to start to see, what the Varangian Guard can do, what it's all about. So let's start with JC. Like, if you could describe this hero in 3 words, like, what would you say?
Keyword. That's not enough words, but
You're already over 3. I'm
so
sorry. No.
when we're building this hero, right, where there's 3 very, very specific aspects that we're looking for. The first one is we want to create a more support hero. It's something we haven't really had in For Honor, to have a hero that's really built around supporting your allies in a more defensive matter, because our second keyword is defensive, right? So we want to have a support defensive hero that really you feel like you want to get close to your allies and help them in battle, not necessarily with ganking, but more with helping them succeed. And we'll see how that pans out with a moveset that's a little bit different, but it's pretty interesting. And finally, we were really focusing a lot as well on the tactical aspect of this hero, as well as like where to position yourself, how to position yourself, when do you use specific moves, having a lot of skill-based play there with how to time your attacks, how to time your abilities to make sure everything's great, and really have a good tactical control of the battlefield. I'm super excited. Really, really awesome. We have like something pretty cool to show off.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
excited.
It's exciting. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait to look into that too. But we also want to know. We also know that apart from the game design too, so much of the work too is a big animation component. So it looks good. So, Vanessa, can you tell us what it was like to work on like this new Varangian Guard as well?
I mean, going back to Viking, finally.
Yes.
That was so great to dive back into their it's the first Viking with the armor that she has.
That's right.
So it's like the challenge that we had in the animation team to represent the wildness of the Viking, the rawness, but she's not just that.
Mhm.
Like her background and the fact that she went away and the training that she got. And she's also the daughter of a warlord, so maybe you show her one or two trick, So all of that was really, really important for me and for the animation team to create something that will be represented. So all the rawness of the Viking, but also the discipline and the defensive too. So because she has a big shield and she wants to use it. So.
Right. And speaking of which, because I know Raph demonstrated
Raph
a bit,
showed before me.
but I wanted to pull him on this side because I really wanted to play with
Yes.
him too. But yeah, like this, these are the props.
Yes, those
right?
were
For-
the actual props from the mocap.
Yeah.
They're pretty heavy, right?
They're
Yes.
sizable.
They're
yeah.
pretty heavy. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
heavy. So they are to scale as well from in game. So it's really funny. But because it's really heavy and because the mocap actor needs to swing left and right for
Right.
8 hours, do the nav and all of that, sometimes we use the berserker axe
Oh, just
right
to,
there, which is also the shaman axe too.
It's pretty cool because you look at a scale comparison, right?
Yeah. I feel a little.
It's
Yes.
real different.
I know, I was like,
nobody can say these are the same
I'm
weapon,
like-
right?
I'm like, I feel a little small compared to this.
And
right?
sometimes it's, it's of course important to have the right weight for the actor to be able to
Yeah.
represent the animation.
Yeah.
And she's very heavy. Like the player will notice when they play her, like you can feel the heaviness. And for me, it was really important to represent that. But I need to give them a break once in a while and not break their arms. So this one was pretty useful too. So
Yeah, our mocap actors are really, really, really
Yeah,
good.
they're
but
trained for this, but,
they're still
it's,
humans, right?
exactly. And I mean the length of the pole as well. Like sometimes you do a swing, but we need to take into consideration that it's not clipping and all of that. So
Yeah.
a lot of thing to think about. But it's pretty neat to have them real size
Yeah.
like this.
I love our props department.
Yeah, I
like
know.
they're so cool. It's so cool.
The thing is, I find it's interesting you're talking about how, she's heavy, the weapons are heavy,
Mhm.
because it's our first heavy hero in quite a while.
Yep.
I know a lot of players
Yes,
were
it's true.
excited to go like, we're doing hybrids quite often, but we're super happy to be able to have a new heavy hero.
And
It's
all
super cool.
what you just mentioned about the defensiveness of this character is all taken into consideration to create those animations. So all the heaviness, the way she behaved herself with this armor, was quite a challenge. So And she's also like the shield is pretty permanent because she's defensive, yes. But in the gameplay element, she's gonna use it a lot in something that you might call the multi-block or
We'll
something.
see, yeah.
But I'm gonna let
We'll have to see what
GC
Alex.
and Alex show it. But
Yeah, because one of the things that's also super important to us when we're building a new hero, even though like we have Vikings with axes, right? We have Vikings with swords, we have Vikings with shields, we have Vikings with like all sorts of weapons. But then if you're looking at this and you think, oh yeah, it's kind of like Warlordish, it's really, really not.
it's
right?
very challenging to create a new silhouette with a weapon that we already have. So, but her shield is pretty unique. Like
the
kite,
shield is super unique, so that's great.
So
the weapon is pretty unique as well.
Yeah, it's shorter than other hero, but longer. So it's a pretty good. But her silhouette is pretty unique. When you play her, you feel completely different. Still Viking. But different. So.
Also with the pointy helmets too.
Yeah,
Right?
I love how like when we're doing the mocap and stuff, we were talking about how the aspects that Steph mentioned earlier, right? She's still a Viking. She's still violent.
Absolutely.
There's still a lot of strength behind her attacks, like with the axe that embeds, that sort of stuff. So it's super cool. But at the same time, there's still a more controlled element to how she is. She's not as wild as the other Vikings. That kind of proof of her training and how that sort of thing works. So it's. I'm super excited. I'm really happy that we're able to kind of build this type of Viking that feels Viking, but is different from other Vikings. So it's really,
and
really
all
cool.
those elements were taken into consideration too.
Yeah, you really do feel the like
initiate
combat and control, and then you get into the chain and it goes wild.
Exactly.
So yeah, maybe that's a good chance. Alex, like are we show some hands-on time now? Are you gonna? What can you tell us about the Varangian Guard?
Let's jump into the game. To look at the character, you can see pretty unique silhouette. Also, massive shout out to the animation team just for the switching stance.
Yeah, it looks amazing, right?
We take a lot of time
so
for the
much.
change stance. Yes. Yeah.
Like I could do that for an hour. All right. So here we have a heavy hero. So those heroes tend to be a bit less extravagant in terms of the amount of moves. So we have a 2-hit chain. Right, so light, heavy, light,
heavy,
etc. So first, let's go with the lights. We really wanted to do a superior block focus hero. So all of our lights have superior block. You can see the ones in chains as well. You'll see later whenever she has other lights, it will also have a superior block. That's just a theme that's going to be recurrent.
The lights are also enhanced. It's great for offense as for a 2-hit hero. It's pretty useful.
Exactly. In our case, you want to get to your finishers. So make a lot of sense. And also like that weapon is quite heavy. It kind of really fits with the character as a whole. And then for the heavies, the heavy finishers are unblockable. So you can see like this wild swings. And if you notice, the axe gets embedded into the opponent in what we call the Aesir state. So what does that mean? When you embed the axe in the opponent, you can do a headbutt to just reset your chain. But they can dodge that headbutt, in which case you can guard break them. If they do dodge attack, they will beat your guard break. So in this case, you can also just bait them to do it, parry or dodge or whatever.
It's important to note that headbutt, for all you frame checkers out there, is 400 milliseconds. It is fully unreactable. We've done tests with people that have borderline superhuman reactions, and they were not able to react to them at all. So that's great.
Nice.
It's a very, very potent mix-up.
Exactly. Of course, for the chains, you can also do the zone attack and go to the finisher.
Yeah, so zone into light as well. So like zone acts as a opener basically.
Yeah. Then I guess we should jump into the specials. First, let's look at that sprint attack because it's a top attack. So it's kind of quite unique. So dive in. You really feel the weight of the weapon as she crashes down. And yeah. Of course, you can go to the chain.
Exactly, right? Like we usually tend to do, so it's great. Yeah. You have dodge attacks as well?
Yeah. So side dodge light, front dodge light. As you can see, because they're light attacks, they have this fear block property. So like if you attack me in top heavy, for example, I can just
There you go. Wow, that's pretty good.
And then for the openers, of course you have your enhanced light that helps, but with that shield, people are pretty used to just having a bash opener. Same as other heroes in terms of timing, so this helps you to get into that chain, get a extra way to open.
And then that opener goes to that bash. That shield bash goes to your openers, right? So it doesn't go to your second hit in your chain. So it does open up for chains where you get a chance to get a little bit deeper.
Exactly. You can just reset the chain. Various ways. Important to note, because we didn't mention it during the chain, she doesn't have a bash and chain. Her heavy finishers are already unblockable, so you're kind of gonna do your mix-ups with those instead.
And so that was a conscious choice that we made as well, because her defense is quite potent, right? Having chain lights that, actually finisher lights that have superior block. They have like a long delay windows, a lot of stuff we can do with that. So we wanted to really focus on her defense there. And there's another little move that we want to talk about right now, right?
Yes. So with shields come great responsibility in a down stance. But this one is quite different. So first, it's kind of like a Ramusha, where it's just a temporary base one. You can cancel your attack recoveries into it as well. But of course, I can get guard broken, and I can get hit in the recovery. So it's just you're gonna get those moments where you can bait the dodge attack, for example, go into your down stance. But you got to be careful because you got to time it. And then if we look at the follow-ups, so let's see. You have the heavy, which is unblockable. There's something special here we can do in any stance, because I think this is the first time we do that with
it's the first time that we end up having like those type of follow-ups be you can pick your stance. It's very, very much the core of For Honor to be able to attack in a specific stance, choose where you're going. And this also adds like another layer of depth to this hero a little bit, where it's like, well, I can pick my stance, I can go in a situational manner where I have somebody on my left, somebody on my right, what am I going to do with it? And so like the other follow-ups are also interesting as well, right? So
so you got your top heavy for max damage, the side one if you want to hit someone on your side. You have the light attack. Of course, they have superior block as well, and can chain. You have the zone attack, so that's if you have like multiple people around you, for example. And just get away from the option. And then you got the bash. That bash can wall splat as well. So of course you can use it to ledge someone, but it can be used as well just to top heavy for a little bit more damage. Now some of you may have noticed whenever I do block GC, the animation on the other side is quite different than usual. That's a place where we decided, let's try something new, where whenever you block someone with this, you will bind them, right?
Yeah.
So that causes some difference. One, it gives you more time to decide what you want to be doing after, because you have so many options.
Yeah, you can delay the follow-up like quite a bit. Which is kind of cool, right? Because it gives you like a lot of control over when you're going to do stuff. It gives you a little bit more time to think, a little bit more time to look around what's going on around you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
It also means that if you block a trajectory, like let's say someone's attacking GC, but I'm in the way of the trajectory and I downstand, I'm just going to interrupt them. The attack will never reach GC.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know what, you have other heroes that can kind of like, babysit gang, what we call it. Like you stay on the sidelines, you hold your full block and you just wait there. And then you kind of like hope to catch trajectories, and sometimes you do. They don't necessarily bounce. You get your follow-up, but it doesn't feel as good. So in this case, this is a big part of the support hero, right? So we want to be able to give her a way to very, very effectively counter those big, massive trajectories that we have in group fights. There's a mid giant opposing team. No big deal. I'm going to get there. I'm going to tap down, block their big, big trajectories, be able to counter them, save my allies, save a lot of people. So that's really great. But that is also a big part of why it's timed, right? So we wanted to have like that skill-based aspect here, a little bit like we have with BP, where like you have to time things a little bit better. You can't just go and hold down. It doesn't last forever. So it really rewards skillful play, timing, understanding, knowing how fast attacks are, slow they are, how you're able to like manipulate the situation around you to really be able to vastly punish your opponents really, really well. That's super cool. And then, like, as we'll see, the entire feat set, like most of the feat set revolves around being able to like block and support your allies there as well. That's a big, big, big part of this hero.
Exactly. there's another thing that we did. So you know when you parry someone at 1 HP, and then their friend attack you, and then you parry their friend, and then you're like, oh, I can't kill you now. You recovered. Well, let's fix that with this nonsense. So because we're pushing a bind on the opponent, the more people that you block, everyone will be binded by the knock of the shield. So then it kind of allows you to choose your target. That's something that other heroes don't have. Normally, if I block someone externally with a down stance, my follow-up is going to be on them. With Varangian, you can choose your target, and no matter who you block, you're always going to be able to hit whoever you blocked. And you can also, if someone tries to peel you, you can just attack the external as well, as we see in the video.
Yeah.
And then you can see, because you can choose your target, we put a lot of effort into a new tech where she will detect where the hit is coming from, and as you see in the video right now, she will just play an animation accordingly while still looking at her target.
So there's a lot of animation in this system.
Yeah.
Because we had to really plan ahead on like every direction from the player that you're locked on and you're fighting, but if it's coming there, but if somebody's coming on the other way, so from there going on the other side, the shield's pretty big, don't forget that. So,
We got to swing
how
it
do
around.
we do it? How do we turn all of that? It looks simple, but it's pretty complex, and it really gives the defensive like feeling of this character that she can protect you if you fight with her on your team. It
gives you that
good.
cool, like, you know, cool girls don't look at explosions type of feel, you know? It's super awesome, but I find, like, even what Alex was talking about, like the tactical aspect here of I can block multiple people, and what's super cool is that if you manage to block 4 people, right, you have the time to choose who you're going to pick and who you're going to do your follow-up against. And that's kind of part of the tech that we've built for this hero, where if I block a single person, I have my follow-up against that single person. It's good. If I block 2, I have time to choose which one of the 2. If I block 4, you have time for all 4. And as soon as you throw an attack, everybody that you did bind with your block kind of gets out of it. So there's no real situations where you're going to get punished by somebody that you blocked by because you did something else. And it's really all about like making those choices, making sure that you have that control in your hands and have like perfecting the skill, the situational awareness, knowing what's going on around you. It's amazing for this. And again, like the animation team did a wonderful job. Alex did a wonderful job there as well. Making sure that we keep that feeling of I'm blocking in direction. We don't have like, you know, spinning around like we have with other heroes when they blocked. It looks really, really good there.
And
like
it's important to mention that the GPP team as well like worked a lot on this.
It
was really like a group effort to make it work.
This was not this was not a simple topic to tackle for the team, but
you guys pulled it off amazing. So it's super great.
Looks great.
Really cool.
All right. So we want to talk about feats a little bit?
Yeah, I think we're at the feats now.
Yeah, we have a little video, right?
Yeah, let's go. We're going to run the video. So the first feat is called Take Shelter. So this is part of her support kit. Whenever you land a superior block, you can see the little sphere going to the Valkyrie and it heals her, but it doesn't heal Varangian, the Varangian guard. So that means that you're basically just going to be standing there in team fights, healing all of your allies. You're keeping them healthy. Of course, it's quite a potent heal, so you're not healing yourself. That's kind of the...
Yeah, and there's no cooldown on it, and it triggers off of every super block, so your full block and as well your crushing counters when you're using your lights.
Exactly.
So it triggers off of all that, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Now, for the feat 2, because your feat 1 is not keeping you alive, we have Mystia Ward, which is whenever you superior block an attack, you will gain a big defense buff for a short duration. That's kind of like the Lawbringer feat 3.
Yeah, it's kind of like Righteous Deflection, right? But but it's on superior block instead of being on pack.
Exactly. Just to make sure that whenever you're in those big team fights that you don't go down too fast. And now, to go back into the support, here's the Aesir Aura. So that one is every single time you land an unblockable heavy, you will pulse a AoE that will give a little attack buff to you and your friends. So that really allows you get that Aesir bind with the heavy, and then you and your friend can kind of take advantage of it with the damage buff.
So all of this kind of plays into the support and the defensive and tactical aspects that we talked about. That it's really great there.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got feat 4.
Yeah, and then feat 4. reclaim the land. So going back to fight the uncle. So as you see, it seems like it's a projectile from the sky, so that's kind of like a spear storm. It acts kind of like a catapult, so you cannot do it indoor. So there's going to be a bunch of spears that fall into your enemy for damage, and then it's going to leave a Doom Banner, which is, if people are familiar, it's the Berserker feat 2, so it plants a banner, and then every enemy's inside of it is going to have lesser defense. And
yeah, debuffs defense. So it's really great for like point control, that sort of stuff. You get in, you throw that, there's a bunch of people in there. Even if they dodge out, well, then you can go into that banner and then try to beat me. You know, so it feels again, it feeds into all those aspects.
Exactly.
It's really, really interesting feats there.
Like we're going there. There's a banner. Attack everyone. Get the buff. Heal everyone. Embed your axe in people.
There you go. Works really good.
Easy.
Super easy.
Right.
Cool. Great. Yeah, so definitely a lot of really cool like defensive options, tactical, like you were talking about here. Just such a huge support character, which is really fun. Like I like that a lot personally, so I can't wait to play her next week as well. Do you have some other things you want to show off though too? Right?
Yeah.
I think we have
a video for emotes.
Execution.
Oh, yeah.
And
Let's go
emotes.
see.
As well, yeah.
So let's jump into the emotes.
Yes.
So we got the combat emotes here.
There you go. So we have all the emotes for her, representing herself. Like she rally people around her, like the Doom Banner, exactly. Like it's a bit that, like the banner that comes in. You want to be with her when you fight. Some also like fun emote because
some other fun ones. Yeah.
I mean we have She's so
You want to recreate the trailer? You get all the emotes to recreate the trailer. That's super cool.
Yeah. No, exactly. It really showed the personality of the character itself, and of course, player customization. It's really fun to be the one that call out your ally. So
it's a huge aspect of For Honor.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is. Yeah, sometimes things don't work as intended. So.
All right, so we're gonna have executions that'll be coming up shortly.
But she's got to finish stretching.
Yeah,
this is
super
right.
I really like this. This emote. It's like
I mean,
you press
those
it,
weapons are heavy, so sometimes you just have to
It also
it out a
reminds
bit
you
of it.
like when you game, you gotta stretch sometime. Take a little bit of water.
Works very well. Okay, cool. So we've got those, and we have executions as well.
Yes,
Show
the
off a little bit?
execution.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they're so
here.
good. They're so good.
So you really feel the heaviness of this fighter in those executions.
And I love how we kind of handled the shield with kind of punching with the shield as well.
She really used it more like as a defensive tool, but also as
it's pointy,
Yeah, I mean it has a dual she can use it as to protect, but also to attack, which she does.
And this is where also the violent Viking part of it comes into play, right? It's
exactly what Stefan was saying in the beginning.
Exactly right. So she's more controlled in general in her fighting and stuff, but when you look at these executions, you see her Viking side really come out. And it's like, I'm not gonna,
She's violent, but not control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very controlled violence.
You don't want to have this axe embedded in your face.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
I think everybody does. No, it looks very painful. Those look amazing. Really cool. Great work on the animation team. Again, putting all that together. Just super bloody and violent and horrifying to think about. So great stuff, as always. Alex, I mean, we've talked a lot. We've showed off a lot here. But if you were to say, just maybe for new players here coming in, like wanting to start playing the Varangian Guard, what would be like maybe the closest character facsimile in the game right now, just so they can get used to it?
It feels kind of a mix in between, I would say, like Warlord, surprisingly, and Aramusha, in the sense that the down stance is temporary like Aramusha, and you can do it after your recoveries. So you kind of get kind of all of the heaviness of the Warlord, and those recovery cancel of Aramusha. Yeah.
There's a bit of Black Prayer in there as well. Like able to
sure.
do stuff from external trajectories. That's really good there as well.
Yeah. If a new player picks it up, it's just get into your chain, try to learn how to use those recovery cancels in group fights, and it should be good.
Nice.
It's great because it's the hero's not it's simple to play. Like it's easy to pick up, but it's really hard to master every little detail with it. That's really, really good.
Exactly. Your positioning, what attack to use when to defend.
Super great.
Yeah.
So with all of that too, how do you feel like this is gonna impact the overall meta? The big
team competition, right? So
all that.
So one of the big things that we were keeping in mind while designing this hero is, as the game has been moving more towards big group fights, big wide trajectories, the meta has been super, super impacted by this. Why we've seen the rise of Magi, rise of heroes like Jan Jung and stuff that have those big hits, those big hit boxes around them. So this hero was built to be a counter to this, right? So it's, if there is a Varangian guard on the opposing team, you have to be careful where you're going to be throwing your attacks, how you're going to be doing your stuff. Yes, it's not a super hard counter, but it still works really quite well there. So we're really expecting to be able to see her more into those compositions where you need to defeat opposing teams that are really using those group fight tools that we've been building all over this, like this past year and a half. So it's really built around this. We had this in mind while we were building this hero, as well as when we were like buffing up group fights. So this is how I really, really feel like it's going to go, both in regular gameplay and in competitive. Right? Because in regular, it's going to happen once in a while. You're going to be able to block with those trajectories. But at competitive levels, I've seen the players that we're going to be seeing playing later use her very, very, very effectively, use all those superior blocks, use that full block, all of these things really well. So I can really see her getting picked in a lot of situations and be very, very effective.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you've described the meta, I know, during the development as like, this is a character where like she wants to be supporting her group, her team. So you, as an opponent, you want to kill her, but it's really hard to kill her because she's constantly supporting her team. So like,
exactly,
yeah, it's
right?
like
Yeah, that's a big part of it where you want to like make sure that she's there, she's a threat, and it's one of the first few times where you're like, well, I have to kill this hero first.
Yeah.
And we built with that in mind, right? With all those defensive tools that make her harder to kill.
Yeah.
So it's all those little aspects that kind of blend together that make for something super interesting. And the other thing that we were hoping to have is, if you're playing this game and you have a friend that's starting or whatever, you can play with them and stick close to them and actually actively help them in group fights and protect them and defend them. And it fits really, really well with the hero's thematic, but also with what we're kind of gameplay elements and where we're trying to push the game.
Awesome. Super cool. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing all of that, and Vanessa, too, for being on the couch.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I mean, thanks to the animation team, Ricardo, Nawel, and Michel. I mean, on their great work on this hero. Honestly, I'm really excited for the player to
Fred on the VFX,
Like honestly, like every department that we have, like so from
Yes.
animation, from the fight team, like the entirety of the fight team always participates in the development of every single hero. We all work hard together to push this as far as we can. But then we have the programming side of it that they did a ton of work.
Quite a lot on this one.
The VFX department had a lot of work on their plate as well. So it's a big collaborative effort. Like massive shout outs to everybody on these teams. We've all worked super hard, and like we have everything to be proud of. It's really, really good.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you. We hope you're as excited as we are. And if you want to see the next stage of all this, well, what better chance than what's coming up next? We have exhibition matches with some very special players who joined us in the studio live, who are going to be doing some hands-on real scrimmage matches using the Varangian Guard. So you don't want to miss that. So stick around, because we'll be right back. Thank you, guys.
Hello and welcome to the Year 7 Season 4 exhibition portion of the stream, where we'll be showcasing the Varangian Guard in all of her glory. We're coming at you live from the Ubisoft Montreal studio, and it is a pleasure to be one of your hosts. My name is Vivid Naz, and I'm joined with my co-host, my partner in crime, Verbalocity.
Me?
Of course.
This feels awfully familiar. It's like the 4th time I've done this now.
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit, that segment we just saw was all very well and
Incredible.
good, getting an explanation of what the character is. However, considering some of the mechanics at play regarding pinning, binding, and especially multi-blocking, we're going to need something a little bit more meat on the bone, a little bit fattier. So, Ubisoft only decided and flew out a bunch of folks from the community, be they YouTubers, competitive players, or the like, and we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned best of 3.
Yes, sir. It will be a Dominion game mode. Of course, the maps that we'll try and play today is Temple Garden, Overwatch, and if we get to it, Harbor. I really hope we get to it because I really want to showcase this character. We've seen a lot of love that has been given by the developers. We've had a chance to play the character ourselves, and we very much fell in love with her.
Yeah, the Varangian as a character is very much... I've been constantly using the phrase home cooking character, you know.
Yes.
We've had Outlander for the last couple of times. Outlanders, every single one's had some kind of paradigm-shifting gimmick, whether it's chains into infinite... You know, chains chaining into everything with Ocelotl, with Pirate having, feats in the middle of chains fluidly, and, a gun. And on top of that, you've got, of course, you can't forget Medjai with having the first weapon in the game to literally switch forms, which I'm fairly sure gave the animation team a small heart attack.
Yeah.
But now we're coming back to something a little bit more common, a little bit more grounded, something familiar, which personally I'm quite happy about.
Yeah, and it feels like one of the main things that I've seen is like Viking armor when? Like when are we seeing a Viking character with that level of armor? And the question has finally been answered by the developers of this new character.
Shockingly, they know how to Google what chainmail looks like. Weird, I know.
It looks beautiful.
But yes, we now finally have a Varangian with armor. And also, small update for you as we're going through the exhibition today. If anyone from chat has any questions, by the power of a lovely tablet I got for my birthday, we can see you now.
We will be on it.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, ask away. We can try and do what our best. We've had a decent bit of time to play test, so if there was any questions that maybe you missed because you missed a previous segment or whatever, we'll do our best.
Yeah, and we do have, it's not just us here today, we do have some lovely people, and starting off we can maybe even go through the teams that we have. So starting off we have Team Red Nose Gang. I'm hoping that the GIFs are going up because the GIFs were absolutely incredible. It was the funniest thing that we done yesterday. We had to make GIFs for everyone, we had to make GIFs for each other, and to take a look at Team Red Nose Gang, we have some familiar faces and some new ones as well. We have Normie, Big Force player. This guy has won so many tournaments in his lifetime.
Hey, there's the GIFs over there.
Okay, there we go. The GIFs are up. They're beautiful. Some of them, the special highlights are to Normie, Marco Yolo as well, using those emotes. We also have Freeze and Nutella as part of that team. Those names, iconic in our game. And yeah, go through the next one.
Now, on the flip side, of course, you must keep in mind the enemy team. We've got Team Stream Killing Service. We've got Rippy as the team captain, one of the foremost folks in the North American competitive scene. Even the name of the team, they decided a little bit of a nod to his home team, the Team Killing Service. Next up, we've got Bean, a little bit of a wild card here, because Bean is the best 1v1 player in the game by sheer record, the current winner and reigning champion of the Duel Series, or the Duel Frenzy, excuse me, got the Dominion Series mixed up there. However, how well is he going to do with fours, I wonder? A little bit of a question to consider. Next up, Spaniard, a returning face here for the broadcast, and Spaniard, more known for his tournament adjudication than actually playing in them, but I'm sure he's got some funny stuff up his sleeve nonetheless. And last but not least, we have Havoc, of course. Relatively little introduction required for one Mr. Havoc. If we see a Warden, there's going to be a problem for the enemy team.
Yeah, just look out for the player that's like edge walking across the map. I'll tell you something about Spaniard, which I found was pretty hilarious. Freeze deems him unreactable. He's so used to playing with the top level players that when he sees Spaniard's Kitukiri, he's just like, what is going on here? I just don't understand how this player plays.
And I believe we are going to have the lineups here very shortly as...
Yes,
For once, I'm not the one actually running production, so the eye's coming up very quickly here. Normally, I'm the one doing tournament streams for these. Shout out to Ubisoft Production, of course. You must credit the Observer always. Shout out to Maxo Production. Is going to be on the camera in-game. Always good to shout out the Observer. And here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Looks like we got the first game. It's going to be a full tournament legal set. The first one going to be on Temple Harbor. Fun fact, by the way, some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yes.
One of the maps in the pool for today was actually going to be Gauntlet, but all the players threatened to go on strike. So we're actually going to be a full tournament legal map set for today.
Yeah, and today we'll be following mainly Rippy and Normie, as they will be playing the new character you can see here, all kicking off on point C. Hopefully we get to see that all block. We managed to see it in some controlled settings, but I really want to showcase it to the viewers at home in a live 4v4 match.
Now, of course, C point on Temple Garden, the place to go for
Cluster
any...
clucks.
Yeah, cluster cluck is a very good way to put it, but it's the most important point in any serious game here. And first one's going to go to the Tether immediately. Keep an eye on Varangian is able to exploit the All God. However, as a few people have guessed in chat, Varangian does have a couple of key weaknesses. One of the big ones being unblockables. You know, of course, the All Guard is extremely good against wanton hitboxes a la Medjai, Berserkers who aren't thinking clearly, but one or two unblockables will mess you up.
Yeah, an absolute stalling champ you see there. Normie just going in this 2v1, putting her to her full potential. And oh my god, gets the 2v1, gets the crushing counter there to finish off Rippy, and secures point C for the Red Nose Gang.
Havoc, low stamina, no stamina actually, having to worry about a Jangjun. Jangjun, not the biggest concern potentially for Havoc, he's got a lot of experience in that particular matchup. Yeah. And now Freeze going out of stamina himself, he is on the Jangjun. Of course, stamina return very quick. Doesn't matter though if you get shot on from out of left field, comes the Zerker. That's going to be a critical amount of damage. You need to leave before you die, and it's going to be the latter. Bean, lastsecond.com.
Yeah, and some extra lore. Havoc's Kyoshin ripped yesterday. We had a bit of Tactas. Havoc locked in the Kyoshin, and he went 13-0. So I'm hoping he carries on that performance here today. And we just have this 1v1 with Normie and Rippy. Normie securing the point, holding it down for his team. Oh, nice catch there on the parry.
Be a bit wary. Now, another downside to the Varangian Guard is that you may have noted the 1v1 and the general offensive power of this hero is lower, especially in ganks, unless you really know what you're doing. And I mean, even the top level players here have only had a couple of days, so I'm going to be personally waiting to see the power level of this hero once it gets out to the wider community.
Yeah, nice bench there, usage trying to follow for the zone heavy, but unfortunately got parried there successfully by Havoc. Havoc trying to see what he can do there. Oh, unfortunately, Filthy Spaniard Hitokiri comes from the back, finishes off Normie, and as Team Red Nose Gang, sorry, not Team Red Nose Gang, Team Stream Killing Service secures the point.
There you go. What's going on in chat? They can't keep our love apart. Yes, Mr. Sheep, don't worry. I love you too. But the real talk for a second, though, Vivid, a nice little sort of subculture that always ends up going on around the new heroes is always the race to Rep 70. Kind of an unofficial thing that happens on Twitch, and Mr. Sheep is already pretty much locked in. He's got his requisite bucket in his room ready to go. The curtains are drawn, set.
And just to remind people as to when they can start that race, the character will be launching on February 1st. You can buy it for $7.99 USD. And for everyone else, you'll be locked in on February 14th, which marks the 8th year anniversary for the game, which is crazy for me to say. The intro when I said year 7, season 4, and I've been saying that for years now, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, and now we're at year 7 approaching year 8, which blows
dead game, by the way, guys, dead game.
Blows my mind. It's so incredible to see the support that this game still gets, and it still very much deserves. And yeah, just the love that the devs still give to this game is honestly next to none.
Another question for the chat real quick. I missed the narrative segment. Where can I get that? Well, if you want to rewind in the stream, I do believe the Ubisoft channel has the VOD saved. But if you want to get a nicer sort of stretch on the lore, just wait for Reaper King to upload a video. He's going to have it up on YouTube, I imagine, fairly quickly. And Reaper King's a pretty solid place to get that sort of lore stuff, so keep an eye out on that. However, from the immediate moment, oh dear Bean, it was nice knowing you.
Executions. There we go. Normie picks up a bit of health as part of that execution. Rippy trying to see what he can do here. It is a 3v1 situation, but the Varangian Guard is pretty good at stalling. We saw Normie do it pretty well, but unfortunately Rippy just get picked up there. Another execution on the Varangian Guard. They just look so brutal. And I want to point out something that you told me yesterday. I arrived pretty late to the sessions. I had some issues, let's say, getting
You got ganked by the visa office.
We had some issues getting to here, but when we were going through our 1v1s, you pointed out how much you love the sound design. The animators got a lot of love.
Yes.
The fight team gets a lot of love. And just the general lore of this character gets a lot of love. But I just want to focus in on the sound design. And you were the one to point it out, and I think everyone echoed this the same whenever you said that.
Yeah, like the way the chainmail sounds on a hero that moves as much as Varangian Guard, I personally quite like it. Also, quite vocal, arguably a little too much. I imagine that'll get fixed,
It's
but
passion, more energy.
Speaking of getting vocal, I'm going to be seeing a couple of tier 4s coming out here. Spear Storm, for those of you that missed us, yes, you saw that correctly. That was a mini Spear Storm straight to a Doom banner. That is not as strong as a raw Spear Storm that will kill someone immediately with 120 damage, but it's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, Normie's absolutely killing it. He's already unlocked his tier 4. I didn't even realize that until I saw the Spear Storm into Doom banner. Rippy, unfortunately, not faring too well, but hopefully we get to see a bit more from the stream killing service soon. We have Marco Yolo here. I love his little banner on his back.
Gotta be a bit aware. Of course, Keto into Kyoshin is a relatively okay fight, especially... Oh, the bleed.
No.
Couple to discuss. Unfortunate. My apologies there. Havoc able to pick up the kill, and Team Stream Killing Service threatening to take the W in this first game of this best of 3. Something to keep in mind, if you actually were a little late to that initial segment, the headbutt after any heavy pin, any of the moves with the Aegir prefix, or the ASIT prefix, that headbutt is not guaranteed. It's actually a pseudo 50-50 where you can go for the headbutt immediately, or you can wait a little bit longer and go for a guard break right after. Great light parry over Normie.
Yeah, Normie seems to be absolutely popping off. The lower he is in health, the more he pops off. And it's 1v1 against Rippy. Rippy just trying to go for that bash light combo. But Normie, unfortunately, reading him like a book. The top light lands as Rippy secures the point. They are in breaking, which is not a nice situation to be in here. Nutella in a 1v1 against Havoc tries to go for the heavy.
I understand you're... Hang on, timeout. I understand you're being nice, but my brother in Christ, it's 5-12 to 10-78.
I'm trying to be nice, right? Where we want to see as many games as possible with this new character.
True. I mean, we're going to see more than enough of this character out when it launches on February 1st. I mean,
don't worry
this is a support character where there's going to be 4 stacks of this rolling around. A single pick, please, dear God. And that is going to be something relevant. We should actually quickly talk about the feats while we got the opportunity for those that missed it. From the people I've been talking to here, the tier 1 and the tier 3 are going to be very strong.
Yes, sir. He hit our raw tier 4 bear. By the Hitakiri. But I'll tell you what, I want to hear into the comms of Team RNG right before we win this out.
Hit us up, production. Yeah, I'm coming.
Get rid of Rippy. That's quick. That was good.
Never mind. I killed him. I'm too good. Alright.
Good, not too good. You're too modest.
More passion.
Tier 3 moments. Hello. Tier 1. Oh.
Come dance with me. Come dance. Come dance. Come dance. Come on. Come dance. Come dance. Come dance. Yeah. Hey, let's go. All right.
Let's get it. You know what? I was gonna say that they won in lowercase. Like I felt like they were in lowercase, but Marco Yolo picked up the energy there at the end. And yeah, as Team RNG picks up the first win for today.
All right. First one off the rocks, we got a little bit of time while they set up game number 2. If I check my notes here real quick, the second map is Overwatch.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Overwatch, another one of the classic maps from the competitive pool, one of the legal ones. I can't believe we potentially have Gauntlet. That would have been funny. The amount of screaming we would have heard, that would have been great. C Point will once again be the place where the fighting will never end. It will go on and on, my friends. Once the C point gets done, maybe they transition to mid, maybe they go to A. With Varangian Guard specifically, Vivid, something you may want to keep an eye out for is if the Varangian Guard gets sent to mid, or if they're going to be primarily holding on C. Because, of course, a lot of characters who are meta in mid-clearing right now, there's a few unblockables here and there, but a lot of them are throwing non-unblockables, and a Varangian does love to stuff those.
Yes, definitely. And what would be super interesting to see is, yes, I understand at the start you may not have those tier 1s. You started talking about the feats, and I think it's really good that we kind of bring this back. Early on, you're not going to have those feats. You're not going to have all those properties on your superior block. So it would make more sense to move for that mid lane, try and go for the clear of the creeps. But later on, you want to be as close to your team as possible, because that tier 1 is I won't say busted.
Strong.
It is great. It is amazing.
Strong. When I was asking for a couple players' opinions, the tier 1 and the tier 3 were the ones being pointed out as strong. If you want to know a vague idea of the numbers on those feats, the tier 1 heals for about 10 per block, which can get funny very quickly. The tier 2, that gives you the defense buff on superior blocking something, that is essentially a righteous deflection, so it gives you 15% DR. And then the AC award, that gives you and your team the damage buff if you hit someone with an AC prefix move, that is also a 50% damage buff. So the rule is 10, 15, 15 in terms of numbers, and we'll probably see it displayed here.
Yeah, here we go. We're in a 3v1. We always, 3v3. We always like to see this on Overwatch. Some big heavies being thrown here by Spaniard. Once again, the unreadable Hitukiri. Ricky just low there at the back. Health bars all across the board seem to be pretty low here for Stream Killing Service.
Notice how Spaniard has to be very cognizant of where the Varangian is in the fight, because one guard and you're getting binded, and then you're probably getting jumped up by enemy. Look, nobody's fishing for it immediately. Nobody's fishing.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We wanted to see it that he was so close to revenge there, and Stream Killing Service seems to be picking up this fight, but Shigoki is coming here to support for the Red Nose Gaming. Okay, well,
good stuff.
Just as I said that, I jinxed him completely, and Red Nose Gaming there just picks up the point.
You know what? Let's move away from your inflicted commentator's curse. How dare you, heartless bugger.
I know.
Question here for the chat.
Let's go.
Verb and Naz, what is your favorite hero?
Ah, my God. It depends. I feel like I have...
No, freeze! Oh, no, what are you doing? Rule number 1, don't jump attack on Overwatch. You know it doesn't work. You've made enough videos on it.
But he's got point C. He can quickly go to get his health back. So it's not the worst thing possible.
I guess.
I will say what I said to the dev team. I will say Centurion, only because I played so much of this character.
Hang on. No, stop for it. What is this?
This is the tech. This is the tech. The Varangian guard is very strong, but put them in front of a ladder and they'll, they'll struggle here. Okay.
Hey, let's go.
Okay. Oh, you managed to get up the ladder.
Ladders confirmed OP. Map designer when remove them.
Yeah, Varangian guard. They didn't really want to talk about the downsides of the character, but I think we just saw it there.
Why are you running? Stop, please.
Okay.
Oh wait, watch the ledge. Those heavies will knock you off if you're careful.
No.
Please don't get ledge live on street. Hey.
Light attack, tier 1 unlock. Oh, okay, the bit of BM there coming up from Normie. He wasn't too happy with that. Spaniard in the 2v1. I said Centurion.
Yes.
What would you say?
Conqueror. Easy for me.
Yeah.
Always love Conqueror.
I kind of expected from you.
Is that a compliment or a disparagement?
No, I just remember ever since we started playing the game together, I would probably say back 2017, 2018, you've always been playing Conqueror. Even though when he was giga bad.
We're old.
Yeah, we're very old.
Arguably, he's somewhat giga bad now, but that's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
Back into the game. Marco Yolo on the Shigoki goes for the hug and gets it right! What are you doing? You're letting the YouTuber grab you?
Yeah, he's...
What are you doing?
Rippy is a bit MC struggling here so far, but he does seem to have the numbers advantage on the C point. Nutella gets caught there with a parry, gets successfully executed by the Varangian guard. I'm glad it was her because the executions are just so brutal.
Yeah, shout out to the animation team.
Oh my God, the animation team.
The executions here. Every single one feels just grounded enough that you can expect it. It doesn't feel particularly over the top, and that's sort of been a general theme for Varangian as a whole.
Yeah.
It's very much back to basics, classical For Honor design, tone, and gameplay, which personally I've been missing for a while, so I'm happy. What was that? Rippy gets the parry on a scenario where arguably he shouldn't have been able to get it. Freeze looking for the gank, but Marco Yolo wants to try and interfere in other ways. Grabs Spaniard, but no! They botched the gank entirely. Bean gets the GB, but Marco grabs it again!
He gets it.
Hugs for everyone. Marco Yolo wholesome till he breaks your spine.
He's doing a hug-only speedrun there. Does not get Spaniard. Doom Banner and gets dropped there. Defenses are super low. Marco Yolo gets taken out. Rippy coming out of spawn. Let's see what he is able to do. They are at a deficit, and if Verta loses, they do lose the best of 3. So they really need to pick it up for the Stream Killing Service.
Gotta be a little bit wary here. You don't want to get too open live on stream. I mean, the interview segment's gonna be kind of funny.
Yeah, you definitely don't. And they're all playing for a prize.
They are.
It's a prize.
We haven't told them what the prize is, but there is a prize.
Yes, the prize is exceptional. I'm always jealous because I always want the prizes that they play for, and I never seem to get one.
That's because we're on commentary, my guy.
I know, but come on, surely we're winners too.
Are we?
Yes.
I mean, sure. I mean, we get to talk over this a lot, but these are the people actually playing and or getting clipped on stream.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's true.
these are the people sacrificing their social capital to to give an exhibition for this character.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I know that was the execution in the trailer. That's particularly one of my favorites with
It's just
Varangian.
nasty. I always imagine the axe just slitting their neck. Oh, ruthless.
Out of context statements for honor makes you say a lot of silly ones.
Yeah. Definitely do not clip that.
Do not clip possible psychopath.
Okay, here we go. We get to see some minion clear. If anyone is wondering at
How
home.
good is Varangian at wave clear? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Look, but there's a cat fight on C. This is actually more important. Shout out to Max on production for finding this. Teller in the 1v2. Rippy trying to move them down alongside Havoc, but Havoc sees that someone has walked up to the right. That's going to be a normie.
The Varangian support.
Careful. Revenge, you fed Revenge. That's not good, but the Teller's on the Zerk. Heavy. One down. Looking for another.
They're triple capped. Verb, they are triple capped, and they're only 50 soft points away from breaking. Stream killing service really needs to pick it up in this fight, but it doesn't look likely as Bean is incredibly low. Getting taken out by the Varangian.
Flee.
Nutella just deciding he's going to run away, but unfortunately, the ladder tech. Once again, the ladders, dude. These berserkers in the ladder, I don't know what's going on here today.
Ladder's haunted, possible movement input error, I don't know, maybe he can explain himself. Crushing counter, alright, I gotta talk for a second about the lights. The lights are deceptive, for those of you just joining us, the lights are deceptive with Varangian, because not only does it have the Aethera gimmick of having a crushing counter on both lights you see there, they are also enhanced lights, which means you can use them as an initiator fairly frequently, as long as you're not being brain dead and just letting yourself get parried.
Yeah, no. The character so far has been showcased pretty well, I would say, by Normie. Rippy struggling at points here, but they do seem to have come back from the huge deficit that they have to capture some points. They do have A and B here. C still being contested. Marco Yolo in a 1v1 here against Havoc. Nice successful parries there from the Mr. Marco. Oh! Dude, what is going on with this guy? He's just throwing out these hugs. 1v1 as well.
Okay. Alright.
Oh my, he's trying to get a clip for his videos. For sure this dude's trying to get clips for his videos.
I mean, why not? The stream's right there.
Yeah.
Although, I do want to address actually a statement someone said in chat.
Let's go.
No way anyone's using them to external block externals. Nice sentence, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you're specifically referring to the All Guard, that's actually been surprisingly good in playtest for getting around all external hits, because what is the current general meta of the game right now at the highest level? It is an absurd amount of very wide trajectories, long-range heavies, lots of trajectories, that kind of thing. As long as it is not orange, not an unblockable attack, that All Guard, the Oathbreaker, shuts it down entirely.
Yeah, it just stuns everyone, and they're all stunned for the duration of the all block. And what's even better is you can lock on different characters before you follow up.
Yes.
So you don't have to follow up on the last person that you block. You can follow up on any character that you block.
Yeah, I maybe slightly lied about the whole paradigm thing. Yes, that is technically a brand new mechanic to the game, in having the ability to choose which target you go for after a blade blockade style move or a deflect style move. Normally, you go for the person that you hit last. Oh dear, this is not good for team... Oh god, my brain, Red Nose.
RNG, yeah, Red Nose somehow are the ones that seem to be losing. Rippy has completely turned this around, has all 4 feats available. Unfortunately, the Arrow Storm has already been used by Normie. I don't think we got to see that on stream. There we go, the Arrow Storm gets used there by Rippy. Oh, here we go! Finally a successful one, freezes molding, but that does work for Team RNG.
Be careful, watch those tier 4 feats, they can come by surprisingly quick. Rippy's got the Doom Batter down off the Spear Storm. Havoc is already on a kill streak. That is a Fury Blast, that is a full Fury Blast.
Boom! Normie gets taken out, and the win goes to Stream Killing Service as they tie it up 1-1 on the scoreboard, and we will be going to Harbor. I want to remember, last time when we were here for the Magi reveal,
yes,
it was a 2-0, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this might be our first BO3, or this is our first third game in our BO3s that we've had, actually.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's rather nice.
Yeah, I know. First time for everything. And also, it kind of harps on the point that we want to see as much playtime for this character. 4v4s is where the Varangian Guard thrives, and we got to see some elements of that there.
Yeah, you don't want to necessarily be taking Varangian Guard and expecting them to be an elite tier duelist. I mean, Being could probably make that work.
Support is the important part of the description, the character description.
Now, admittedly, when I first was invited in and I got to look at Varangian Guard and I got the explanation from JC that she was a support hero, I was a little bit mad. As For Honor's only benefactor appreciator on Zhang Jun, that is the big support feat right now, next to Black Prior, but Black Prior doesn't count because Black Prior is really good.
Yeah.
But this character having not one, not two, but three, arguably 4 feats that allow for a massively supportive playstyle, if you want to go that way, you can do it. And now, admittedly, even if you don't want to go for the uniques, which I imagine you will, like this character very much has a Warmonger vibe, and that you'll be taking all the uniques, there are a couple of nice feats in the other options, but support is the way to go.
Yeah, the playstyle very much supports all the uniques that you can get. Hopefully, we get to see less with Spear Storms. I feel like it wasn't like, we didn't really have any great tier 4 usages. As we already said earlier, we are taking a look at the chat, so if there's any questions you want answered on the character before the release date in February.
Griffin Main's crying. Okay, yes, Griffin is a decent supportive hero. Griffin does have some decently...
In the support sandwich, where do you think the Varangian Guard fits, where we have JJ and then Griffin?
All right, so Griffin does have significantly more healing feats. You got access to AoE heals.
Yep.
Actually, quite a few AoE heals, let's be entirely frank. However... What Griffin essentially has those on a framework that is kind of similar to a Lawbringer, but with this hero, you've got the bind mechanic, and the bind mechanic in particular is going to make people who just throw out hitboxes without thinking about it, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to punish them pretty heavily. We are locking into Harbor here for a last game of the exhibition segment. We are following Normie, Team RNG. They won with quite a landslide in the first game. I thought they were going to win with a landslide in the second game, but I feel like we just waffled maybe a bit too much and we missed what was actually going on in the game.
I love to waffle. It's why we're here. Let's keep waffling. Hi, Kilimanjaro. I see you in chat. How you doing? Although, actually, I want to do some shout-outs real quick while I got a quick moment. Shout-out to the good old-fashioned Northern Rush for the Crusade Against Cancer tournaments he's done recently. He raised quite a good bit of money for that, so...
Incredible.
Crusade Against Cancer. I think I could respectfully say this on stream at least one time without getting in trouble. Screw Cancer. I would swear, but I'm actually a bit of a coward. But screw Cancer. Shout out for the Crusade Against Cancer tournaments.
Yeah,
always good to see.
It's such a beautiful thing to rally behind. We do see the Ocelotl. I got told that we've all been pronouncing this character's name wrong.
Have we?
Yes, Marco Yolo taught me how to pronounce it properly. The TL at the end is pronounced with a little bit of gusto. And I can't remember it. He did tell me before stream, but I'm a nervous wreck before stream, so I try to not listen too much to what people tell me.
I mean, to be fair, this is also the same character that has the Ocelotl as a weapon. I think that's how I meant to say it. It's like MC Phlegm. So it works. Yeah. That's gonna... Hang on a minute. Havoc, what are you doing here, Sunshine? On the Orochi, you've got to make it really work here against the Shugo. You can get absolutely hyper-armored out of existence, and there is a Berserker there. But of course, you have a bash, so you have ways to get around Varangian's defense quite nicely, but it doesn't matter if you just gank them properly.
Yeah, exactly. And saying that, I would be interested to hear what is going on in Team SKS.
Hit us up, Max.
Spaniard's going
I'll bash for...
Yeah, I'm going to see with you just, like, do anything.
I had good damage.
I'll stay on mid for a sec.
Yeah.
Shigoki's coming back to mid.
Right, I'll come back up to help you get Goki.
Oh, you went easy.
My bad.
Oh, I think Barry I could have dodged. Yeah.
I'm just going to let you warn him while I continues.
Yeah, CNB, we got good point of vantage from this.
Got him.
Nice.
I'm going back to C again.
The Reynaud's pretty fair right now.
Don't worry about that.
We're help Beanie.
Nice. Right, I'm coming back to... let me know when you want me in mid. I can come as soon as... I'm coming now.
Oh, you're going all watch shield, they push it. I see 2 mid, 3 mid, 4 mid.
Don't touch the freeze.
Yeah, Bean's the one on freeze.
Yeah, don't worry,
I'll peel Normie.
I'm trying to get out. Oh, Circus on me, he's going to kill me probably.
Nice shit. Ooh. Spin. Have a go here right now.
Okay.
Nice. Just absolutely mega reads on this.
Oh! Nice
He's
parry.
got loads of range, I can't read.
I'll help Havoc. You guys stay mid and C. Me and Havoc on A.
One more coming A. One more coming A.
Yeah, we'll take the fight.
I'm gonna heal on.
Yeah, you heal. I'm
Just play your health. I'll try and get you heal.
Marco's going A.
Actually,
Goki's going A.
Span, go A now. Go A now.
Yeah,
I've got Jug, so I can pop Jug and stall that for a long time. Oh no. Actually, I've got the... Oh my god, he got me the hug. Ha!
Really?
I'm dead, that's fine. That was a good start.
I can't
CB. Yeah, CB. Just keep playing CB. We're doing good.
Yeah, I'm on C if you want now.
Yeah, so I think you can go up with Sirena and go help. Yeah, all four.
Can you try
Oh, nice.
Oh no! Does that.
That's all. I'll be watching. So you're kind of alone.
Marco is really low. He's going back to A.
Just try and stall. Just try and stall. Try and get to like C or something.
I didn't get a chance to pop Jug, unfortunately, but...
Yo, Beanie, from spawn, go A.
Wait?
Yeah. Span your help B.
Yep, coming.
I didn't mean to bury that.
You want me on C or on Havoc? Maybe. Going to you instead, actually.
I knew it.
And I got a 1v1 this new character again.
I rotated him.
Yeah, I got free cap.
Alright, I'm gonna come heal. There's one mid. There's one mid.
I'll keep him off. I'll keep him off. Is he coming?
Alright, don't hog, just double heavy off my Vash. We'll do simple. Good.
I'll let...
Yep.
Stay here for a second.
Yeah, I'll stay. Yeah, go get mid. You go.
I'm kind of just light spamming a little bit.
It works, it works.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of light spamming a little bit.
Rochi's coming up to me.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Alright.
No, he's not. He's going to Z on the zip line.
Alright, just don't get plunged.
Yeah, I'm standing. Okay, I'm just standing away from the zip line. Let me know if you want me to go to mid or anywhere else.
That's crazy.
I've got Nami.
I'm going to mid. Wait, no. Okay, I've got Teller on. No, Hurl's gonna win this onesie probably. Having said that, I've won from it so far. I'm gonna try and stay away from it.
Oh my god.
Let's take it back to us.
Yeah, I'll stay. I can't.
It's fine. I was going on C.
I'm either gonna kill that now. Oh no, okay.
I killed Freeze. Coming C. What's my... Alright.
I won my onesie on C.
I'm gonna come mid for you.
Oh, thank Christ, it's you.
You can go mid. You can go mid.
And in a surprising turn of events, Team SKS seem to be taking the lead here.
Yo, let's go!
I like the part where Rippy parried and he was like, I didn't mean that. It looked sick, but he was like, yeah, no, I didn't mean that.
Just top NA player things, I suppose. Oh, hang on a minute. There we got a birthday shadow. Happy birthday, Reposter. Nice to see you. I've mentioned you once or twice. Yeah, fellow flat cap enthusiast. Happy birthday, Reposter.
Happy birthday. You can see here, Normie in a 2v1 situation. It does look a bit dire for his team. I don't think they can afford taking too many losses.
Where?
Nutella 1v1 against Rippy here.
Rippy might have an okay time against the Berserker. You've got several access to crushing counters where you know, I haven't actually seen the interaction, what happens where a Berserker zones into the old guard.
Into the old guard,
That's a fair point. Oh, no, you don't need to you don't need it if you just parry it. That's the old classic, just parry on the 4th hit. There is an Ocelotl who is dead in play. An Ocelotl could end up popping up around here very quickly if they're not careful. We see Marco YOLO's come over to actually help out with the Teller. Great stuff with the cancels. Freeze is here as well. 3v1. Can Spaniard issued the ban from life for every member here. 1-2. Hey,
oh god,
there we go.
Dopey Spaniard just 100-0 there so quickly by Team RNG. Marco YOLO just pulling up to the midpoint here. Havoc using his bow, unfortunately, to not much effect. And the Orochi just falls back to point C. Tries to regen some health. Havoc in a 1v1 against Marco. Okay, we get to see some epic gaming. A 1v1 going on here with the Varangian guards. Blue versus pink. The duality of Varangian guards.
Careful. Gotta be careful.
Okay.
That is the way you get around Varangian.
Yeah.
That is the way you get around Varangian's defense. Unblockables and melee attacks. This is not a Black Prior style all guard where it counters everything, but you just get feared instead. Marco YOLO deploying the bow shot. Sorry, Spaniard deploying the bow shot there. Heavy damage. Normie 1 HP.
Normally, Spaniards trying to help him through tournaments, but now he's going to help him to an early grave. And yes, he does. Good work.
This game has been surprisingly close, Verb. We've had it go back and forth multiple times. Now Team RNG with the soft lead. Losing a point, they won't be in the lead anymore. Being here, just facing up against Mr. Freeze on the Ocelotl, trying to see what he can do. Does have the support there of Havoc as we cut to Rippy. Can he do anything to support his team?
Ow.
The storm comes down.
That Doom Banner's a problem. Doom Banner's a problem. Get out of there.
Okay.
Oh, no, Spaniards in the back. He intercepted the Orochi.
Oh, nice.
That's
there
unfortunate. And Rippy's going to drop as well to Normie. While I did mention Varangian doesn't have necessarily the best 1v1, it is there. It exists, you can force it, but it's not something that's going to be notable versus like an Aethera.
Especially when you have a Doom Banner to support you, right?
True, that's fair.
We can see here, teams were put into breaking, but unfortunately, oh no, the pin! That was a cool interaction.
Indeed.
The pin prevented the hug from going through, I think. We can go cut across to the 1v1 Orochi matchup. Bean comes into support, Orochi is down. And we're about to hit breaking real soon here for Team SKS.
Beware the breaking, especially with the executions. Varangian's got some decently quick ones on the board. That will be a very good place to put them if you can. That's going to be a quick respawn. Double break, all right.
Oh my god.
I do see some questions in the chat. We'll get to those after this game in the time between. So we'll keep an eye on this for the time being as we are in breaking. And I want to keep focus on this. Rippy in a 2 versus 2. Havoc is here to assist and support the Spaniards in the back.
Yes, sir. And health power seems to be in the favor of Team SKS here. The Fire Flask comes down, but unfortunately, it doesn't do much as Havoc picks up the execute there at the back. Vitello trying to see what he can do, but they do have one member down in the form of Normie on the Varangian guard. 2v2 situation there. Rippy falls. 3 members down here for Team SKS as RNG look to take up the win. Ocelotl gets executed.
Bean's dead!
Bean falls to the ground, and the last member, the Shigoki, falls as RNG pick up the victory.
The best 1v1 player dies to Freeze.
Yeah.
Headlines everywhere.
Yeah, Bean is probably not going to live it down.
All right, so there's many things we could say. However, I want to give a little bit of time for players to think up their answers for the interviews because I imagine some players have some explaining to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's have a look. Final look. Let's see here. So, question in the chat: what's my personal favorite execution? Me. Personal favorite execution? It would have to be actually probably Orochi's, or one of his original. Actually, no, Kensei the backstab. Classic. It's quick. It's been in the game for years. That's my personal favorite.
My one, I would probably say the Orochi where, I forgot the name, but you like jump on the knee, off of the knee, jump in the air, slash their head off, super quick execution, gets the job done, bish bash bosh, we're in the game again.
Yeah, what else here? Let's see. You said you have a look at chat, Verbo. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I get a hi from you? Yes, you can, Shield of Hope. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. Anything else? We got a bit of time. Oh, hey, Giga George Raker, how you doing? I see you in chat. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, there's quite a few streamers in the scene that actually do hold up the directory quite a fair bit, just raw stream time. I would love to go into the full list, but Giga Jawbreaker being one of them, there is quite a fun list. I'd say after the stream, if you want to sort of keep the good vibes going, check out the directory and see people's reactions to the stream. That's what personally I want to see. However, I'm going to stop myself before I end up going the full thing, because I could just talk about the directory forever and the cool people in it.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate it. We once again appreciate the opportunity to be able to cast the exhibition portion of the new hero reveal. We love every time that we come here. We love that the game is still getting so much love and support from both the developers and also the players at home. We do have a losers interview lined up for us. But before that, do you want to just give us quick final words for Velocity?
Game's great. For another 10 years. That's what I hope.
Yes, that's the hope. Much love to the people back home and the dev team. And I'll be casting it off to Brian with the losers interview.
Hey, here we are. I am joined by the L squad, so that's not awkward. Rippy, what happened?
I guess we just couldn't beat them. We really tried our best. There was a game we came back, we made the biggest comeback, tried to get the momentum going, but in the end they just outplayed us around the end, and G's to them, really.
You had some great plays in there as Varangian guard. How does the hero feel to you? What did you like about it? And where did you find yourself struggling?
The hero feels really nice. Offensively, maybe he's not like the most like offensive character, but his defense is more than enough to compensate for that. Like neutral CCs, chain CCs, the full block recover cancel as well feels really cool to use. Really good full block as well, stops all the chain, so he did really feel like a defense machine.
Yeah, you had a couple moments in there where you really were able to utilize that full block to your advantage against multiple opponents, and just kind of bide your time and stall, and it was nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we'll go down the line if you want to pass the mic. Mr. Bean,
yes.
What happened?
I had some mishaps, but obviously they came out the victor.
What was your moment where you thought, oh, we've got this, and then you realized, no, we don't?
I was Ocelotl tier 1. I just kept trying to like respawn and heal, but I couldn't. I kept dying. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Yeah,
no,
just kept dying.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it happens to the best of us.
Definitely in practice, but yeah.
Yeah, do you think top heavy would have saved you? Okay. Let's go to Havoc.
Hello.
Hello. Do you feel like you misused your Warden pick?
Yeah, I missed opportunity. I feel like if I'd have picked Warden, we might have just won at the end there. But nah, I don't know. I struggled against Normie, to be honest, on the new hero. He was just messing me up every time. You know, she's strong. You just got to be careful around her because of the full block and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm going back to Jules. Full stresses me out.
And Mr. Spaniard, how was it fighting against the new hero?
Well, you can't full block a drop attack. So, he's not Black Prior. Or she's not Black Prior. So, that was my tactic. These guys persuaded me not to play Nusha in the last match, which was probably a good idea. But yeah, I think the new hero is amazing. Looks really cool. Was pretty scary when piloted by Normie, but honestly, I think Nutella's Berserker was even scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to run away a lot, and I got caught a lot. I died.
Well,
even more.
That's that BBW, that big Beyblade winner.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna shuttle you guys off stage and get the winning team out here. We'll be back with them just a sec. Good. All right, and we are joined back again with the winning team. How'd it go?
Hey, it went amazing. I was super pleasantly surprised where I went, and I'm glad I could pick up the hero so fast.
Yeah, you were really ripping and tearing there with the Varangian guard. How did she feel in your hands? What did you like?
The all guard, definitely, obviously. It's really strong in teamfights. And just having big hitboxes fly around, you are able to pop that all guard and then you interrupt everyone. It's super strong. It shifts the momentum of the team fight.
And where were you finding yourself struggling as you learned the new hero and adapted? Like, what are your pain points? Where are you going to have to work on it?
Well, her offense isn't the best of the best, but you have to work a bit harder. But once you do land your stuff, it's really satisfying, and you can still do everything on her. She's really consistent.
Yeah, she seems to have that real like surprise quality there. All right, let's toss it over to Mr. Nutella.
Yeah, so that match went great. Though I basically only did well because Normie asked me to swap off the Zerk. Playing a character like Dambushi into this character would be a death wish. You can't have too many big hitboxes around. She shuts them down instantly.
And Freeze, do you think the drop attack is what got you through this?
You think so? You're bringing that up again, just like last time? No, they baited that out really well. I didn't expect that one. And my drop attack, I don't want to talk about that one.
Okay.
I don't.
How did it feel to fight against Varangian?
Yeah,
Bringing guard.
during rehearsals, I was playing Magi, and it was not fun. I switched off that one and went a lot better. So yeah, big hitboxes, you really need to pay attention where you throw those around her.
And Mr. Marco.
Yo.
I loved the hugs.
I just hugs everywhere.
You just
Hugs
hugged
for
your
everyone.
way to victory.
Absolutely.
How does it feel?
The hugging or the victory?
Yes.
Both. Great. Amazing. Love it. Love to spread the love.
Well, we have some prizes here for the winning team, as you can maybe see on camera. If you wanna pick that up, Normie, and just show the people at home. So because we've got Varangian Guard, fully armored Viking, you need to have a fully armored drink vessel. So we've got some corne à boire, or some Viking drinking horns here for you. So these prizes you can take home, you can show them off, and you'll always know that you were victorious over the other guys. So thank you so much for the exhibition match. For everybody at home, stay tuned, because we'll be right back with seasonal customization. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back. I am joined once again by the always wonderful Alex. How are you doing today?
Absolutely fantastic.
So happy to have you back on the Den.
Lovely to be here.
So today we've got, with the new hero, we've got new armor variations coming. But before we get to those armor variations, we're going to talk a little bit about the event pass, which is coming up February 1st through February 22nd. We've got the Varangian Guards Pledge. And so, Alex, what can you tell us about the rewards?
So, in this event pass, we have the Guards Commitment Battle Outfit, which is very Varangian inspired. It's got a little bit of mosaic patterning, really get you into the spirit of being a Varangian. For the mood effect, it is Katla's Quarry, with a symbol that you'll really become very familiar with throughout the TU. Yeah.
And Katla's such a great name. I just love that for her.
The ornament is Guard Loyalty. This one is a shield, really getting into that mindset of being a human shield, guarding others.
That's going to look great on the shoulder slot. I already have a couple heroes in mind that I'm going to put that drip onto. Looking forward to that. So again, you can get those in the free event pass February 1st through February 22nd. But I said armor variations, and I know that's what the people want. So what can you tell us about the armor variations coming up and some of the like design aspects that players should look for?
Sure. So this TU, we're going to have the continuation of the set that we started last season. So last season we got our Knights and Samurai. This TU, we're going to be bringing Viking, Wulin, and Outlanders. So it is kind of light colors, very, very clean. In fact, all of the armor variations that we have put out this entire year have been clean.
Which I, for one, appreciate, because I'm a big materials fan. If there's not a lot of material options for me, then I tend to be like, let me go to someone who's got some shine on it.
Exactly. It's fantastic for customization. This is also the very first time that Ocelotl receives an armor variation. So that's very exciting.
That is exciting. And anytime our favorite jungle boy gets some more drip added in, that's a good day. So you can look for these coming, like I said, February 1st through February 22nd. And then, shout out to the team, really.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to the team in Chengdu and the team here in Montreal that helped to create these armor variations. They worked really hard on them, and we can't wait for players to get their hands on them.
Yeah, and so that's all we have for this segment. I want to thank you for joining us again, and I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in. Stay with us because we'll be right back. We've got patch notes with JC, the Lord and Savior. So don't go anywhere. We're going to show you the complete armor variations video right now, and then we'll be back with JC.
Welcome back, everybody. Just thank you for joining us for this next segment where we're going to go into the patch notes with, once again, Lord and Savior JC. Welcome back to the couch, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All
Happy to be back.
Good, yeah, good to have you back too. I mean, we just saw some incredible exhibition matches there. Like, really cool to see
Those
the
were
players.
some really close matches.
Yeah,
We were like in the back there watching them.
Yeah.
We're super excited.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. I love to see that the new players on that too. We saw some cool customization as well from the last team, and now we're here to talk a bit about patch notes.
Yep.
It's should be pretty straightforward this time, I think.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. We're really focusing for now for really nerfs to two specific heroes that are above the curve right now in the meta, right? So we're going to talk about first about get the patch. Yeah, Shinobi, right? So Shinobi's overperforming right now. Damage curve is a little bit too high. So what we've done is lowered the damage of their heavy openers and light openers by 2. so to 22 and 12 respectively. So this is the same type of curves that we have on Orochi, right? So before, because you have those combo lights afterwards, his damage output was a little bit too high. So by reducing this, he's more back in line with other heroes that have these types of attacks. If it's still a problem, we can always look back at them a little bit later. But for now, we want to go into that direction. And then we also nerfed the teleport damage. That's his deflect. So it used to deal 24. It now deals 20. So the reason there is essentially this is one of the better deflects. It breaks armor. And then it leads to a very, very potent mix-up. So because of this, like we felt like we really need to lower the damage there a little bit. We've looked a lot at the comp scene and the data, and that seemed to be like a very, very like it's a targeted nerf to that specific ability because it's so strong. Because Shinobi has a very good ability to deflect with a double dodge.
Right.
So we want to address the damage first, and then we see again where that can lead.
Okay. Very
and
cool.
next up, we have Aphira. So Aphira is also overperforming. So we're doing some slight changes here. First off, the side light openers and finishers now have a bit less range. So if you remember, you probably remember.
I remember.
When we launched Aphira, so those side lights had really, really bad range. And so we increased it so that you would be able to hit external targets a little bit better. But over time, as players learn the hero more, get more comfortable with her, we saw that extra range is actually a bit too strong, especially when you're outnumbered, because these attacks have crushing counters, right? They have superior block. So because of this, it made her really, really difficult to approach in team fights. She could hit you before you could try to hit her. So we've tried to really reduce that effectiveness there a little bit. We're not going too far. You can still hit people externally. We didn't go back to what they were at launch, but they're kind of like it's a nice little middle point, right?
Right.
So to make sure that she's not overbearing and too difficult to fight when you're in team fights with her.
Gotcha.
Then we also lowered the top heavy finisher from top heavy opener rather, sorry, to 25 from 27, and the left red moon from 16 to 10. So this is another targeted nerf here, specifically to our wall splat ability. So essentially, left red moon is what you do as a left heavy as your finishers. It displaces, it can wall splat, and then you would do a top heavy that would deal 27, right? So you deal 16, then 27 off of a bash that you can access after heavy parries, after a lot of situations. This was like a bit too strong. So as a first step, we're lowering this damage, right? So it's been lowered by 8 right now. We still want to see if this is going to be enough. If it is not enough, we will take further action. But for now, we'd rather we take like smaller steps to get into a comfortable position, but not make the hero too bad to play and make these moves useless. So that's the philosophy, right? We're trying to go a little bit step by step, see where we go, see where we land. If it's still too high, we always have the luxury of lowering it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that we like to take our time and to not like annihilate a hero and just go nerf it down to oblivion. So that kind of feels good there.
Makes sense to me.
So that's pretty much it for patch notes. It's targeted nerfs, like I said. Very important to have these types of changes here. These are two heroes that are overperforming, that are like banned in some competitive circles. So we wanted to make sure that we would address the issues and try to get them to be more playable.
Sure.
Less frustrating to fight against.
Sounds good. And again, we're always watching. That's it for all of you out there. We do watch. We do listen. And one of the ways we do that through is through the use of Bug Reporter. You've probably heard us talk about this on the Den before, but we actually have a really useful tool for recording bugs and providing that kind of information directly to the team through a tool called Bug Reporter. So while we do want to continue to use this and we encourage you all to use this, we wanted to just make a little specification to that. It really is for bugs. The issue is that we tend to also see a lot of feedback kind of being sent in Bug Reporter. It's not bad to give feedback. We don't want to discourage anybody from giving feedback.
Definitely not.
Yeah, for sure. And we just really want to kind of encourage you to use like more of our social media channels or places like Reddit or other forums to kind of go and provide your suggestions or your feedback or things like that. And keep Bug Reporter mostly for bugs. Again, we do have teams of people who go through and review that stuff, and we want them to make sure that they're focusing on the important aspects bugs, so we can find the best fixes for the game and really improve the quality of the experience overall. So again, please bug reporter for bugs and any other kind of feedback or suggestions you may have. Just continue to engage in our social platforms, our forums, all of those kind of fun things. I think we're even on what are we on? Some Twitch. Brian always knows.
Everything. We're on.
We're on everything.
Ton of platforms. That's great.
So,
and if people are wondering, like, do we ever see these bugs? Right?
Yeah.
I can say from experience, we have a wonderful person on the team called Sam, who regularly sends me some of the bugs from the bug reporter to look at. To go, okay, so is this a bug? How do we enter this? Like, what's going on right now? If it's like a one-time occurrence that, it's a fluke, or if it's an actual problem. So we do see these bugs really often. We have a look at them. We analyze them, see what it is. When it's feedback, usually we do take the feedback, but we'd rather it be somewhere else so that it's more digestible a little bit.
Exactly. So again, just we hope that just kind of helps clarify that a bit too. Also, when you use Bug Reporter as well, like again, this is a really great tool for us as a team, but it helps us more like when you add a lot of information, pictures, screenshots, videos, links, stuff like that. It just helps us. So the more details, the more descriptive you can be, the easier it is for us to kind of investigate, track things down, find the best fixes on our side. So thank you for that. And a final note too, if you use Bug Reporter, which again we encourage you to do, go back and check it every now and then, because sometimes, honestly, we maybe have questions for you. So Bug Reporter kind of works two ways. You can send that information to us, but we may also kick it back to you and ask for more feedback, maybe more details, screenshots, videos, that kind of stuff. So add as much details as you can and keep checking back in case maybe we have questions for you on the topic, but just know that we are using it.
Yeah, it happens really often where, like I said, Sam would send me a bug. I look at it, I go, this actually looks like a real problem. It's a real issue. But then we try to reproduce it. It can be really difficult. And it's a bit tricky. We're missing some information. So having that back and forth, that you took the time to enter a bug, we're super appreciative. And that if we come back to you, it's really useful as well, because if you really want those issues to be fixed, if we need more information, that means we really need it, and we can get onto it and actually fix those issues.
Absolutely. Cool. So thank you for that. And thank you, JC, again, for being here today to again introduce the Varangian, help out with all of that, and to go over the patch notes. So much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So stick around, though, because we're coming back with our wrap-up and outro, where we got some more awesome fun things to show you all. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
what a show.
I know.
What a show. What a hero.
Right here. Yes.
Yes. I'm so excited for the Varangian Guard. I've been wanting the community to see this for so long because as the person who reads all of the things, I've heard Armored Viking. When do we get an Armored Viking? When do we get an Armored Viking? And the answer is February 1st.
There you go.
So she'll be available February 1st for $7.99 US. Yes, nailed it. For an exclusivity period lasting until the 14th. That's right. Make war, not love, with For Honor.
That's right.
Lots of war. Then she'll be available for 15K steel. So, pretty standard fare there. But don't forget, we've also got a free event pass that'll be going from the 1st through the 22nd, the Varangian Guards Pledge. And then we'll also have the new armor variations. So, we've got the Viking, Wulin, and Outlanders. I'm excited for the Ocelotl. I also, anytime I get more material surface on anyone, that's great. So this is a good armor variation one for my tastes.
Nice.
If chat disagrees, well, that's fine. And then we've also got 3 Hero Fests coming up: Nobushi, Blackprior, and Afira.
Awesome.
As well as a throwback event, the Blackprior's Riposte on February 29th through March 7th.
It's on a leap year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So some people will finally turn 4 this year.
Aw,
Isn't that
congrats.
great? Isn't that great? Happy. Oh, we're over here now. We're over here. Happy birthday for you leap year babies. So it is time for us once again, and I made sure that Havoc is forced to watch this out in the other room. We've got Community Corner, so let's take a look at some video submissions, video and art submissions from the community.
I love it. I love this segment because I make sure not to see it beforehand. So
it's always a surprise for this guy.
It is. I like being surprised.
I edit the video, so I know.
Yeah,
I pick them too.
That's what we
All
have.
right. So first up, we've got Not Today, Satan, submitted by Ariamus.
What is this?
This is not today. It's not going to happen.
Just get him.
How
is he
the
still
Scent
alive?
wants it so bad. he finally trades. Then we've got Catgirl Nobu by @Humble Shark.
That's great.
Always love a good Nobu art.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
the rest of them were
very
not
good.
safe for work.
Probably not. Yeah.
Then we got The Bot Goes submitted by Vidal the King, one of our frequent submissioners. Submissioners on a Thursday.
We're making up words.
So
there we go.
this one's funny because sometimes you wind up in a situation where somebody rage quits and there's a bot there, and you're like, oh, we're definitely gonna lose now, but not today.
Is the bot gonna clutch? Is it gonna clutch?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh man, at least it's Anusha, which is one of my favorite heroes in the game, so I'm always excited, even to see.
I generally don't have problems with bots unless it's a Nusha bot. I think there's something there. I think we need to look into that.
Yes, go Nusha.
Nusha bot for the clutch. And then this one made me happy. Samurai won a round of the faction war, and I like this one because we have Knights, Vikings, and Samurai all with a win.
That's that's good, I guess. What?
And then Beyblade, more like Beyblade. I have no idea what's happening here. I showed this to Vanessa. She was like, I've never seen this. I've never seen this happen.
That's fun.
Yeah. Warden Copter goes.
How is that happening?
So there you go. Havoc out in the other room. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you all at home enjoyed that as well. But Nolan, that's not all. We've got more stuff.
Oh, that's very true. Very true. So, oh boy. So we also we've got some content of the week to talk about as well. So I know we're focusing a lot on the Varangian Guard launching next week on February 1st. But hey, guess what? Today, January 25th, we also have a Hero Fest for everybody's favorite War Mommy. That's right, coming out free to play this week. Extra XP and an amazing new unique execution. So nice. We showed both sides of it because head goes pop.
I absolutely love the perspective from the person who's getting executed on that one. That's how I want to end all my meetings.
And just
Just someone do that to me, please.
I feel like I don't. I don't want to go into a meeting with you in the future. That's okay. We'll Skype it. We'll go on Teams. But we have some more content as well. Starting next week for a limited time, starting February 1st through the 22nd, a new illustrious outfit, the Vow of Allegiance, is available for 20k steel. So again, support the Varangian Guard for heroes who are not the Varangian Guard as well. So that's cool. Also, a new limited time execution, the Gruesome Punishment, available for 10k steel. Get it while it's hot.
I see what you did there. I see what
it's very hot and glowing hot. So yes.
I love that Holda's just running around with a red hot poker somewhere.
I gotta imagine that hurts, but
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. All right. Cool.
And then we've got, don't forget, it is February 14th coming up on us, which is the anniversary of For Honor. It's not just War Day. So remember, you've got the Honorable Celebrations effect that to get it, all you have to do is log in between, when is it? February 14th and February 22nd.
Yeah.
I knew it was around there somewhere. And that it's customizable. It'll match your color swatch,
which is so cool. Like,
yeah.
I love that kind of. I love those details. They're always so amazing.
So the fireworks will always coordinate with your drip, which is the most important thing.
There you go. Also, we've got, and if you're like me, Brian, and you maybe enjoy the music of this season, well, we've got a special surprise for you as well. Starting next week, you will be able to download the album Swords of Injustice, the original game soundtrack for this whole year, composed by Luc St. Pierre, our very own. And it's amazing.
Banger after banger.
I know.
I saw someone in chat earlier asking, like, is this a Luc St. Pierre certified banger? And the answer is yes.
It definitely is. Yeah. So there you go. So next week, you see the link. You saw the link on screen. We'll have the links posted around. But yes, it's ubisoftmusic.ffm.to/Swords of Injustice, and you too can download and re-listen to all the awesome music that we
also
had.
find it on all the places. The Spotify.
All the
on
places.
our playlist
Stream
there.
it, download it, have fun. It's great music. Cool. And also. But wait, there's more. So for our Marching Fire players out there, we want to just remind you that we have a new Arcade Weekly quest, the Ryoshi's Awakening, running from January 25th through February 1st, and also an event order planned for this weekend, Honorable Slayer Challenge. So in honor of our newest Varangian Guard hero, go out there and be honorable to other people as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do that.
Vikings like killing, and now they have more incentive to do it.
Right.
So Knights and Samurai, give them hell.
Yeah.
At least try to stop them.
Just try. Just try.
That about wraps it up. A quick reminder: join our official For Honor. I did that in rehearsal too. For Honor Mints. For Honor Tournament Discord. The link should be getting dropped in chat over there right now. Thank you for watching. Remember to follow us on all the social medias. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on, obviously we have a subreddit, and there's also the @Ubisoft TikTok where we post a lot of For Honor content. So if you like to see Shigoki moving that cake, follow the Ubisoft TikTok. Do it.
Oh boy.
But we're going to do one more thing as we end the show. We're going to raid Norgaz, and I think Nolan.
I raid him with For Honor Mints.
Okay,
I
we're
just
going
feel
with For
like
Honor Mints.
I don't know.
All right. So just
That makes me
spam For
laugh.
Honor Mints. We're going to raid Norgaz at the end of the show. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Nolan, for hosting with me.
Thanks, Brian.
And thank me too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
For whatever I did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and everybody
we will
behind
see
the scenes too.
we will see all of you on the next Warriors Den.